at the end of the year, by average, betting accumulated 5 billion Ghana cedis. So 5 billion a year, 5 billion or say the energy sector. What do you trying to say? What we are driving? A can bottom. What do you trying to say?
A coup for the buy, on Mamma Dicaba first one, a coup for the buy, no energy sector, or not a cadaho. A coup for the one for one CDB, Mamma to Susu be a day in Tia. Maybe on fast why you like more fast. Nina Jesus was had the education by my baby one for energy sector, Honoano, Mahama, a buyer, was what the one CD air to what 14%. Yes, it's your Esla. Intermediate revenue committee energy sector committee at what 3
road tolls and buy.
Road tolls and buy. Mitia 40% what to Mitia. Esla das Mitia. And some of this one city ways so as I better so Mitia. Into Hong Kong, Wabu Kwasiami and San Ewa. Road my insurance my lolly fair now over Tesono. Who so before say Yayanti lolly fair. So your phone anti chrome Eburun for. I was so kind for my 2 months, 2 months on better me maso. My which is so Janibina, I was so kind Ebru be so on tennis papers so. So it won't say driver for you 2 gigs swamp because we be some young Kubino or I catch us a Yamano. That's just one upon a parking car station. The single room no. Obuni city to a single room wada. TV be anyone what here news to be. He knew one who. So, but me say, dear, make it a crime, it has 6 gig into me. Say, Mahama will be Quasia, who is see me. Me, mammy, 8 ya, me papa, I miss many as I want to so 8 years because I body or we. It is when once you do by the men quite the element pencil.
It's in the CCA, say, I buy it, some penny for it, solution by pan, Obama.
So, oh, tia, drama for Yakupon, you are any atosso. Love and Libya Yakupon, you are any because Semilodu, Yakupon, I mean, I'm a toss it, I say, Milodu part 23. Omu Yakupon me. Some are called read to talk to the Matu who Nikai, actively and Prima. Overcasam Yabon, but it will do by the Aoka, or second God on me. What I say, or second God on me. And to a man and inquire who will share ye. Now, you're small mine, pa, your bow mine. Why not Davo Mahama? And your driver knee. Why not Davo Vice? And your driver knee. Tidava for your sumbo. To a man and inquire no more my respect. I would do. Pa. Yeah, my pension pay being we are near the boy fee. You had to try a share ma. Swung into all my respect. Now I am seeing to me, now I am found fee. And only as you met me, I can't tell.
Abushan 4 Aja Chacha Munyina ne anyumre biem ya san ya trase ai ne ya trase na ne be bon tokro nketenketi bi oba bi an tokro bi no ma ajija e oba bi ye be bubom ye be babai mu ye be tete ne ma gufom ai ye see the media budget na ba nanso no still no sensible person will praise this budget. Budget we a very bogus budget. Now, budget no muno. Papa B, or see a friend Ato Forson. On why not just say intro. Ako fado aban and no person say no. Ako fado aban aba ye juma. Ama wiase amansen nyina aten nka bo na baso no. Ato Forson say ono de obeye bi obetimi ase papa ne nyuma kese no obeye ye no. Obe fashion was say anything. But we can't na home and say anything. Entine we didn't trobia fire me fufuo omon sama we be kan ye ho. Because on say Ghana for yen parking kan. Ye ti asema yen koye hwehwemu hu. Eto obedin tro de akere na wafa ne ho adi. Na jimifo no te akere bose aban papa ba. Na NDC dey minim I don't know that when you join NDC automatically you become stupid. Hey, Asebo. Na minim say NDC they will join ya automatically na wadwene ya changing to different level. Amanfo esu patro boaye dre. Aduane boaye dre. Ya toto niemba manipa ewu dollar ye nya bi amanfo pesika kofa niema wa amana ne omunya sika. Enso na nkwasiafo MP40 parliament ebo omo nsem se aban papa ba. Omo yempanfo so. Omo nyinyini bebre omuti nya omo abodwe mfufo bi wom ti se media bi sa na ye politics sa na chichiro man se wo de all what you can is what bind tia kunyaso. So what bind ni din semfo a emfa wo ho. You appreciate it. You even endorse the stupidity of what bind here. Say Jiminti, ye di krigigeke ama abrofu bu yen. Abrofu atwrama NDC for abanye omunimu nyansa. Say dollar the 10 cedi. Na omo agye atum. Na aban sisa Ghana go di so kwa akoto ne wa amanone a ye di 10 cedi na ma omo. Na momu Ghana ni no o per dollar de awoto ni 13. NDC for 1.4 so omo ntia se abrofo no de omo adwene na ebiti won. Oh hey yesi wi ase. Obasa asese na nso wa jimi pa. Na on person be yusu de Nyankopon de ma wona. Don't worry about that one. Wo de people bi tran chokuku. Ubenya obi mana yusu wa adwene de aye ne nema ma ne ho. Ena monam Ghana na nkwase asem publicity e wo social media nti. Mo se dollar da 10. Enti mo se sa ama aban no na japade ne ni gold no kwa ama no ne se mo kwa akoton a na their value mo for 10 cedis. But o man na yetim no. Who why ne betim de nsa besi ne bo aka chem se ono no ne nsa ka dollar at 10 cedis. 11 cedi kura why ne betim aka se ne nsa ka bi. Enye possible. Adentia. Abrofo nim se ndisi fo agimi. Enti just for fame, just for fame. Enti no. Ye make se dollar that 10. Na manfo mo mo nsam ma yen. Because monya bo mo nsam ma yen na ye beji din ye 2028 ye pe nkunimadi into the enkese dollar under 8 at that 10 na ento amanfo no tim. But the effect na beba ye economy no so no, especially for those who are omo export to niema de kwa ma no ne ene de Ghana ni NDC ni onwene ho Jimmy etime me a producer me produce nuane niema e wo Ghana mo de kwa ma no ne niema me de ye nuane no me de produce me niema me produce no ebi me krafira ma no ne enti se me kwa akokra niema na ba dollar na me de ekoto sa niema na ansa me de abeye sa production no me to dollar no $1 for 13 Ghana cedis and pass. But me de sa niema we ye adwuma wie na me de me niema no kwa ma no ne a dollar na abroni de be ma me wo ho no me de ba me man no mu a 10 cedi we anye buo now to your bones some added your yan this city well no problem and you better trans ne adi nkomo na ya cheche ne mabinu mu kakra ai e de mabinu makoba bia wo se nkro na ya toto adwene kakra central Ato Forson adi ensemfo Ato Forson aka de a kire Ghana fo ebinu adwene maaso nsam we nyina na ebebo ne tofa na adi hu nkomo na wo nso wanya akwanya afrem na wa be kire wadwen enti me de akwa abakese ema obibia mesoro se wabai bo modern a so be share me video ya mame bo modern so be comment na matumi ahu ache awie pa won subscribe so e wo channel we so amesoro wa se bo modern a subscribe na be ka busuaku e ho na yenko yanim me din ene Mr. Mafo ha e Ras Media GH on YouTube me sanso wo Facebook e wo Kennedy Japan Junior on Facebook me den chake se ema me Paul Bio me panyini Evans Jaben na maame ama ai maame me akwa abapa na busia ye ntwa ye ho kakra bi na ye mra na tie bibi na hu se Ato Forson de oye ne wo parliament holo eni nyina ye ntro we tie video we are talking about enkrofo a omo na the dollar no hi omo wo man no amanfo ababonte omo kansem ye mpe bi ntie na ye mra adwumade no so ye ntie
with the bank. So when you go to the bank, you are not like me that deals with the bank or I deal with dollars every day. I don't deal with dollars every day. So when I go to the bank and the bank gives me 5 days, it is okay. But for you, the bank shouldn't delay.
That's what they have been doing. That's the reason we are saying that $5 is between, say the government capped the dollar from 10 cedis to 12 cedis.
It is 10.34 now.
So yeah, so 10 and 12 cedis.
Yes, 10
but
and
now it's 10.5 or
yes,
10.3. But I go to the bank, they'll ask you, give us some time. Meanwhile, you have a dollar account. Call Abochi. Abochi will give you dollar less than 30 minutes. You have your dollar. So who is controlling the affairs of the economy? Is it Abochi people?
The Abochi people
of
are
course,
controlling the
they will tell you. They will tell you that who will run the affairs Who manage the economy for you? See, on paper, Kabas mentioned it on paper, but the reality is that Bochi will determine who, when, and how you get $1. How can you tell me dollar is 10 point something? Then you need $1. You need to get 13 cities before you have $1.
But what do you suspect? Is it the case that the banks don't have the dollars and the Bank of Ghana is just giving us the figures, or they are intentionally holding it so that the Abuchi can do business?
You see, the bank managers, they are in bed with these Abuchi guys. That's the reality.
How?
How? They are doing business with $1.
The bank managers. Bank managers.
Sometimes you ask you, hold on, let me call somebody. How can a bank manager or call a Abuchi person? So let me call somebody. They directly to the person, go there. This person, yeah. See, that means they are doing business with $1 with the Abuchi people. They are doing business. They are doing business.
So they direct you to the Abuchi
Of course. So it's whose responsibility to begin check all this. It's Bank of Ghana to begin.
Yes, I agree. Of course,
Bank of Ghana need to be check all this.
I agree.
You understand? The problem we are facing is because the bank managers are not truthful honest to the traders. They are enemies to the business we are doing. Of course.
Okay. NT fisherman. Sabre fisherman is supposed to be my time, but I don't know what is going on. But my so camera now I mean, FedEx is almost to go. I feel so much as yes, I don't know our life, but I never see because it was my time and I never checked. But in any case, me yes, me at all. I heard the Ebeko. Yeah. I understand you, brother. And I know, say in this case, we create a lot of confusion even to you people. Are money more support to you, but I will stand on behalf of all of us and I mean excuse us. Say you yentimi anyeden and regi and hona yenyina ya crash. But unya so camera no so we na yeah, it's difficult to cut off and go. So because unim say before answer obi be so camera no. You have done a lot of work back home. And here is obviously I also want to say camera no. Let's say my year near my year juma were camera. That means you have to do your research. You have to find a proper arrangements of your video. A lot. So when you saw camera na be it's like I can't leave the show. So because Ababu ame ho ansa na me yede me ba. But me hu ya ansa dia bi anka me twa boy se enka ochina na anka ma ye show no with no pressure. But I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, but me anum ebe anyden asia wi enti no ya moment for call so na de ye no ye ntumi ye. Yes. Yeah, fisherman, I got what you mean. They all can be an correct, but unfortunately, near all the time, and arrangements na ya no yet to me follow money ye. Aye, you know, yeah, you be funny, sir. More kakra na to me and me show no. I appreciate that. Me, I'm always happy when I have people 2, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12. Nipa do ambeba biano. I appreciate that because important is the content and how people would digest your content and yeah. So yeah, me a fish. I happen. That is what's going on. I just saw. Maybe a Facebook, maybe a YouTube. Say SK so alive. Meaning say fair is the anchor the bar we yet. But I didn't know say SK about life. But the band they see we. And Tabusiam for. Say tie asema na America dollar man me mo akwaba. Say tie asema businessman way ebeka ye ya. Na etre say me have George Frimpong mo akwaba. I Jerima Daniel Erikadu ene Kerson Leao ene set Abuaji Antwi me mamu nyina akwaba ewo platform we so abuja message share video no na link to a next group yeah oka hu bi onim so mo ye nyina ye osonoma na ye mra na ye mfa program ye mra ye mewo so kama asamana meka video a me bo kire wi se utie video no yi a e kire opefe se enam se mahama ne nkorofo no amo pe popularity ewo social media suntino. They have quick come out to say dollar need a 10. But effectively, a nipa omuhia dollar na omuno musu chira buying say dollar ne was a mera from no mu business etumi akoso no. Sa nkrofo no so ba bonten ba be kan chiro say there be entisa dollar no and nothing dollar no yenya na boafo ato any 13 cedi 20 peso. Temi yo dollar no ni effect ye de mayen e wo man no mu no say adwadifo omko kra ne ma fira ma no ne de ba no omo de dollar no ne kokra ne ma enti se dollar no to see the nebo no wo foma ana yesu si etwa ye mene ye hunu amane enti de enti a yesu se dollar bo be ba fom no ene se ebe ma adwadifo no omo ho ahehan won enti se obeka kire me obuku so se dollar bo aba fom na on the market dollar no ne bo no was already ma adwadifo na. What is the sense in that? Mimia ba Patricia patient dan so me mo akwa pa ena mimia osei Anthony so me mo akwa ba yepa. What is the sensible reason? And as I dream bend the woman say ode be ba TV so aye de day and you reduce the dollar to 10. Na enkrofo e wo so munya dollar no so mfaso no. Omoda so turn abodene to say the etia. What sense does it make? Is that not part of the what they call the incompetent manner of governance? Is it not the same thing as people who don't know how they can do say a man for the poor mwasem? Now remember. Say now do free Ghana ban so no. Now done another 14 cedi. But then effective. About time of 14. A buying bank every time of 14. That was what was effective. But then you see the key net government setting we are just setting the mindset of the people to believe say at the papa be koso. But at the ground, no, the reality on the field, the nature say whatever they are saying is just for a political what score. Entronkwa no kreba kukra any nsema Ato Forson diko jina parliament wa na oka echire Ghana for no meka asia kan sisu bie mu se ene da bia ya mene wo kasai every good economist be kan chiro say John Dariga Dramani Mahama Bino. And you so young say the initiatives and any policies a bit to effect a Ghana for your economy no so. Temiyepa. And I'm no say Obibian obey to me asem natural say Mahama buying into Tuyebia Watu to na Ghana economy as the IMF. The World Bank making emphatically say 2025 going no, the economy of Ghana will start bouncing back to the state that it was before the COVID crash everything. And to sabio say na ye hu say this is say bi be economy no more. Enyen krofo we yo, enyen krofo we kra. Everything that is going on today, it is the effect of what? The initiatives are. Nanado Danko Kufuado, any year Dr. Bawumia, a day 19C from Ekata Wanani, and no Madrua, and you know, and also since Sony being a Shasia Eba. Now, when you're Ato Forson, no akwasisa and kwasi afo abegu ho no mu di ntro dollar no wo fom minya be ma ti asem adwadifo no ka na yemra
dollar no ya te so wo mu botum but an reflect wo edum ha Oba first one was say yatiti dollar so yatiti sefa so yati we so cement yanti so besine me to cement last for 2024 me to 104 ene 130 nti tia yati de maso ne sen
sisi ye the dollar ne sefa ni na na de ye adwuma ala yana binum so yati dollar so customers ne ba almost yati sefa no so sefa no ye nte so say ama nema ye boko se na ya ankrofo tifi a mo ka no ene sefa no betima ba fom ene dollar betima ba fom ene kira boko no na ase akosoro ana sika no even na dollar ne was na market ne ye because this time market nye na ye tie no sa na tie because difference bi ama mu
no kreni sika sem na ne ye how kese sika na wo Bank of Ghana 10 point something ba be kwa bonte na 13 cedis you see a safer eba from kakra ba 19 something you say sa ko 22 nti ama ye adwuma ne ye no aye de ama obi ba o se yati sika so yati ne ma so ba be kono so na nti sa
kono men de sisi ade
eti abusue miri aba nana akua afro papa bi mo akwa aba pa msi yankopana adomo ho ye abusue asema ye kan enkrofo we set no mo ye no kan they are even creating ntokwa between the market women and their customers. And I'm no kro mo se omon kanti. No kro mo se omon kanti. And no kra ye friend no kra nkrofo we se omon kanti no. They are creating even confusion among the traders and their clients. Because I will come and say dollar no the say I expect to say and near my boy beko from I'm demanding say the prices of goods no ebeba form. But obviously and tennis I said the NDC for a person monka ema Ghana for nte. Now listening abusia yehuda yawadu trim I can send for the budget here and NDC for the coin the video way na yento ansem no so fansem no mra in a best concentrated form yento aso na yemra sia
now take come your day a media budget review
and the bring back as a miss back and I say afra ebi was ruby of form
the when I was from the when I was
say ohwe baby to say yes ye debt and I kai dey akofom the papa but they said the meeting and say no credit and your mama say a coffee so auditor general some of the kind
yeah
hey so a car with the went me mu akunta enti a car we a call from no and na man a call from na enti de say car de call from and na make say no de e ya de pa na mum e kwan fa so call from no ntimi hu say and no sa significant error 138.91 billion hey. Now what if you now can music house and music no a come dear dorsum pa oh say o call a man sign baby by Jibosia ye hweka wo de ene ahwe say ubetimi ajibosia na wontimi nye na wa to be no kan say medical papa mo say ne mra hakra ne ama osika ma de akoye adwuma enti ade no mo ye ne sare de no krani o mo de o man na wu say 138.91 billion de me hu no say no kra idea in Ukraine, a hydrogen papa said, no, Nama, a car idea no swats in a dear, send GDP growth, economic growth, and so air the inflation at Tiaba form air the part, and I say foreign exchange, and also air the part. Now, said there, I name was our foreign exchange, whom William said, Sekobase, Sikana, Okotoni Mawamanone. Na discano ba kaneno enka wo de ba dollar bia onya 17 and 16 and 14 akoba sakoba ay 10 ba sa wo ma produce niema organa de kwama no 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 mo so niema ye den ama wo it is one managing year e fa ba bi no ani age on so mo ka say tax revenue tax collection akofom on say nipa no niema ode ben duty a wotua ye de dollar ene di bu hu akonta enti duty no so be den ebekofo na obi ono wakoto eyema nipa se duty den akofom na obi nso odi sika na niema ebi ene watoto niema ye de aye aduane bi aya package ye de kwabrochire time wa eba no sika wonya no e wo fom enti obi anim say exchange rate no e ho mfaso wo ho na wanhwe ye nso a e ma company bebre nso timi gu fi say sika eba no esua wa boka aye production but odeba no sika wonya no e wo fom enti so wanhwe a export driven companies and I say companies a ye niema e koton amano ne no companies no ebetimi akoma niemu na emom tina meka se efa baby nso ho no ma wanhwe ni ye a ebetimi do how bi abro ewo oman no sikase mu
mate ya besan
aba eti abusuan hwe tie ni ye pa o tie ni ye pa chese amiya jasi sami jasi mu akwaba na miya apia kubi onso memo akwaba ye pa ti asem we ye pa na nado ti akunwa so yesi auditor general na audit niema de nsem ba abonten beka no ka ye de no ene wa ba abonten se omo ye mistake about 1.something billion Ghana cedis mistake. Hey, Jimmy Yepa. Well, the NDC is an evil, evil party. Ye party bia. Kano correct. Ye party bia. Party ne da akoma so echen oman na nkasa na ne nkanko ene se obi abrabo besi ne yie e wo man no so sankrofo we na either when they are in power or they are in opposition their party first before Ghana ye nyina yete ha ena sabio yewura Dr. Bawomiana na ado de sa nyina hini boxside say or the kwakoye butter exchange made yaka kwine overhead no e Ghana maimu Haruna Idris wa no oye Ghana ni anka wate asem bi sa nka ebeye ne de no Haruna Idris three letter the command World Bank for say sa arrangement na ye no omo pese international what them call World Bank emfa ne nsabesim omfa ne nan mesim na ontwam agreement adentia osise na nado ye German na nado ye sa project no across the country yebeyi aka kwan ahodo yebeyi overhead yebe run about ahodo wo man no mu a it will cause the NDC defeat in 2024 so Haruna Idrusu wrote letter to the World Bank say omo makwan masa bata agreement no enkoso but at the end of the day tamale interchange no a benefit of that barter agreement in a hidden box there. Nanka John Darga Dramani Mahama de Maniwia. Tenipa. Entin Crofone or muye demons. San Crofoe, Monsieur Muye demons. And a Ghana mina yetimino. And Crofone or Mokoto abadima and disino. Among for no moho. Among for no moho. Because baby ye ko gina ya yesi sabio dokono boa ye den ntene yankoto abamfa ntia na nado danko akufo ado ne MPP amanyokuo no na me no kasai dokono no bo no esoro na eko temiye pa wa ye be kan kire o se sabio banche boa ye den bayire boa ye den bode boa ye den ntene koto abafati ananado no na me no kasai sa banche ne bode no ne bo no esoro na eko but nanado danko akufo ado eni akunwa no so and many people who supported this evil party no they have actually come to recognize and realize say they were misled by the incompetent NDC propaganda secretariat Sami Jamfrin and Kwasiafo ni di achire Bajo temi yepa. They have seen that they were misled And then yes, na to say or the e-levy ba et e-levy no de ba na a criminal deal. And a John Mahama ba ye and ye e-levy or the abo or the 1 cedi per liter and a diaba. E-levy no na ye on every 200 Ghana that you send and an Ghana buying edu 1 cedi. And now me no ka say patro yes patro liter no da saying liter no da the 14 cedis. Who spend the 14 cedi bia John that get the money Muhammad tax 1 cedi out of it. A man for that is better. At then Mia budget for do me more kwaba. And to tell me budget burn out to force in the call Mirashe bedroom and nara and this if when ya jomo bomb unsem omo to nyom omo energize Ato Forson abra the ordinary Ghanaian ni bottom prince aye budget papa ben and to kwasem panyin 14 ambulance stealer e de call budget e de call sabio parliament ho a na NDC for papa mpanfo about yourself omo boje ne so abra munim pefe say the ordinary Ghanaians pockets are empty and people are starving. Maybe Samba said the NDC should come out and tell Ghanaians to say, this is what we have done now. That is not so. Now, we are so no. So we didn't trona and trono. Ekomuane druba bina eba bete apa oswa ye de wanuma sema obeka ene beden ebete oto de akire nipa na nipa hu usu na oban adwemmone ayeda wutim edra Ato Forson ko presenter budget asembe na wote ya na sabio eya ahom keka bi kire se enkrofo wewo adwem papa bia na nimde anase ade fufuro bi so mo de breye. Go there and present budget to Ghanaians. Kwasiampanyin ko gina parliament propaganda na no kwa akoye na ye talk more this back and na ye ba beton say market people are crying, say prices of goods and services are rising. Mo ankasa more the increment on petroleum product more the aba. So how do you expect the market product to go to reduce their prices? Just say I don't know actually what runs into the head of some of these NDC MPs and ministers in the government. Me mame estake ba di mame mo akwa papa. Me dwena na me ntiase se de ne mroane e wo mo adwenem. Because mo ankasa na mo de increment on petroleum product, petrol diesel, mo de bia ka ho gradually every 4 months bia price in be beka ho. So why do you expect to say enema ye de fa nkoba so ene de ko edwa so ne bo beba fom na munni mu fede na mutumi ko gina nipa domanim so microphone ne camera simonim e wo parliament ho edin trode kire Ghana fo said ye be ya mon kwasiafo communicators from best sasa na ema no na omode atra media no so na omode ayede de say enema bo ekofom enema bo ekofom e wo hefa. The people on the ground are crying. Nipo mo wo man no they are starving. And then na me mama ba ko me ama na o ka se bi kire wo ha. Body batte ba ko bi atoni 10 cedi wo Ghana man mo ene. Na wa ko jina parliament. Why when nimi huhu se ma jamfantew. E be kan Ghana for say prices of goods has drastically reduced. Reduced from where? From your hwinim ene wa pampam. E bia wo ene. Your position I will hold untino. When you can be to the point they said the prices of goods and services, no, upa and bottom, you don't feel it because it be ho. But don't come and tell us, say, never boko from war minum. And never be anyone abo echo from a war minum. the prices of goods and services are even now becoming more costly. Nebuano drana ye. Enyamane buono drana ye. Ena mahame so bokrono ye pa. Chrono. This government is actually stealing Ghanaians. Now dear me and son now doing saying in I am moi to send crofo with Jimmy Fowenum. Bro, Papa Panini Jimmy wait to Parliament born in Sema Tonyum. Mahama dia sem papa ba. Adentia Ato Forson akoye media budget na akoye ye. Wanko carry say they are going to increment. There will be increase in fees and charges. Temiye pao. And this in Papa Panino or Parliament or Tia Musa Ato Forson or Bonne Homodene or Ye Juma or Sefata so betwaso ye pebiem ne why no or born in some in the respect of the fact to say school fees ye disikebe kaho. What is wrong with these guys? Now the way of so just give me a minute and let's talk about different matters. Market for no issue, but the NDC MPs are in the parliament singing and dancing. The question is, where is that 24-hour economy or no? The 24-hour economy, Papa Panini, oneso kurapo nyede. One ankasa wade to nyumi nyede. Na wo chenchire ho. Wade asempa na bo 24-hour economy na why? Where? Ebinim, but they are still singing that song. Honorable members, Ato Forson. And when I come say nkura binoma omo ma menom efra bontreba nya kwakoto alewa abrom so munjini papa mpanfo ampifo when omo ye honorable members of parliament. Look at their conduct. Ready omo adentia aban no de entoso e ba betu niema hodo so Ghana maimu from 30% to 40%. And this inquasiafo we almost say when they were in opposition almost say na do team edene na do mom ena de ahokyere aba or taxi amamfo ntien to abamfo ntien pipi amanyoko no ena jimifo ye bo mo nsam say John Delegate Ramani Mahama the increase watoto niema heavily me be kan ni nyina kyerɛw na odi bi ato team na yenti market man when asema okaye ye wi ana yeto aso yeah abusama yo say like video no na share ma me yenko yanim
mempa hwe ontimi nya hwe ontimi nya bibia amaye ye ba $100 o se wate dollar so ye ni dollar so ye pa ye nya me pe bia kra ne makra me nya na de no betima ya amaye
we sure so work na but no say from 17 about 10 something I think I go for say positive
17 o me mo ska na kwese bi ma me na ubenya bia ma me
Obu pemesa hanya unya.
Me pe bia kra ne ma na minya ubeden atimanya. De ko banga peska am be kra ne ma minya. Na ubeden atimaka.
Madam Pacho bra. Madam.
Masa kind of them.
Okay, but I say Ghana, I think you are in a different part of Ghana because clearly I know people are almost see they can access the dollar. I know almost so abandon yard here. Say never yen abandon soon chance on your nessa.
The bio, not until I Ghana to Ghana cities. Now dollar na dia na yamaye. Me need dollar. $2 me $20 to them. Intiman can dollars and me cronum na den I can. You port into me in Yama. Or boss what it in Yama. We be what it
is. Support for you 24 hours. So the mortgage in Yamu
24 hours and 18 Yama. 24 hours.
He said the mortgage I am
24 hours and 18.
I had there the mortgage there.
Yama, a ban you be Yama and the meeting Casaba.
It's clearly everyone is there. First half of the year, no. You can say assess performance. Maybe 1 to 10 now. Osha, President.
The MPP here now, Ogusu, or she send them, and Yama also she send you. On she send you to 1 million BBR. The MPP may go on and one Ogusu or Tuaso. May buy me who knew you be or the other. I will say.
Hine da hono. This time, no. Ghana for they are becoming very decent. A 2 million trunch pano. Oti parliament ya. Mobo munsam etiamuno. Say dollar that 10 cedi no. The men on the market are exposing you with fat. Say, enye no kre. Nasto a Jimmy Fu we da suguho ebo munsam. Now and this there, that is their sickness. I akwa we kaye. Kwa bransa bobie. Osen this ni. Onye wura aban mu na onya office. Na air condition kakra bi bofa na ho pene ni Jimmy asore. O ka hwe a wonte ase da. That is actually what is going on. Answer na nkrofo we behu no. Na omote abonten. Na ya pam omo afiri aban mu na omote abonten. Because it cannot be said people adwadifu atiam se dollar omunya bi ne bo eden. Na moso mo nam Facebook ne parliament tentem se dollar the 10 cedi. The day of accountability will come and Ghanaians will not spare you any single vote. Remember this. Yanto asene yanko yanim. Abusia mimi Kofi Francofi me wakwa bapa. Yanto asuna yanko yanim na yenti ensembinum firi Ato Forson camp. Ai. Yenti video we na yenhwe Ato Forson na nemu kakra.
Yes, there was a crisis, but they started the recovery, put in place measures, policies that laid a foundation for a certain gradual takeoff, which you are benefiting from.
I don't know of one. They may have started, but had never yielded results. And in fact, I don't know one that they meant well by starting. They meant, yes, we have to do it because we're an IMF program. So they were doing it wishy-washy. So nothing really actually materialized from whatever program they were implementing.
One for me stands out. At least they left you 4 months of impact cover.
Okay.
We had eroded at one point. We actually had gone 2 months, even less. And we're in the red territory. Isn't that at least?
It could have been better. It could have been better. We have used the last 6 months to accumulate additional reserve worth 2.1 billion US dollars. 2.1. If we have used 6 months to accumulate that kind of reserves, and you were sitting there for how many years under the IMF program? So give and take, I'm not impressed. I've never been impressed with the economic performance because they could have done better than what we inherited. And
also the debt situation, you given us a sense of what you meant. The steep debt repayment humps in 2026, 2027. This, in fact, today a friend of mine was making a point that last year when we were looking forward to this year, able to look for 2026 with a sense of trepidation because of the deferred pain. I think it was called at the time. We deferred the pain to 2026, 27, 28. So this year was supposed to be a very difficult year for you, whoever won the elections.
Yes.
But you are giving us a different view that you somehow, what was supposed to be a very difficult year for anybody, you sort of says that you've actually found a way to turn that into an opportunity.
Exactly.
For momento asona yentre say Ato Forson yekuhwini pa. Odia busente video listen to this part na yento ado.
Yes, there was a crisis, but they started the recovery, put in place measures, policies that laid a foundation for a certain gradual takeoff, which you are benefiting from.
I don't know of one.
Tie. Ato Forson we ogina hoyi. Ato Forson. Na enipa eye kromfo esanso ye ntrofo a na the definition to the person becomes very difficult. papa wei tumi kata n'ani ka kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ sɛ onim adeɛ bi a MPP aban yɛɛyɛ sɛ ahokyerɛ na ɔman Ghana wom yɛbɛsɔre afiri baabi a na yɛgyina ɔsɛ onim any policy a MPP aban yɛɛyɛ. But Kwasi Ampanyin wei was on the video na ɔka sɛ the debt restructuring no anyɛ ɔno na ɛhyɛ aseɛ na mmom no ɛyɛ MPP aban na ɛhyɛ aseɛ no aboa ama ɛnɛ Ghana our economy no egyina ne nan so. Ato Forson said that. Ato Forson said that. Ɔno ana ka yɛ say the debt restructuring na MPP aban de ba yɛ no aboa ma Ghana man no yɛ gyina yɛ nan so. But ɛnɛ papa wei in national television otumi hwɛ camera nim ka kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ sɛ ɔno no onima deɛ bi MPP aban yɛ a ɛnam ɛno so nti a sabio ɛyɛ ntoasoɔ bi na ɔmode ɛtoa so ama ɔman Ghana yɛahotɔ aba. Why? This is because the intention of the NDC is to paint MPP black. So every single 10, every creditor, I will say MPP nyano. The NDC is trying to make it look black. But look at this. Look at this. So, Ato Forson in one hand. Catch Ghana for say MPP amanyoko no. Anye bibia se betumi apaja o man Ghana free bra na yegyina e de akoya nim. But ono ne boss ayefa ne John Darega Dramani Mahama nso ka se Mahama government sees Akufo-Addo administration as having played a key role in the stabilizing the economy. We a IMF report into which is which is which. Now I say what they want to tell us there, what I'm making out of this, and I say and this for in camera ewo dan among themselves omo kama omo ho te omo ho ase se eye nanado aban na ye ntoto ye hyehyɛ ya enam eno so nti ene oman no yetumi home kakra na yetumi nya sika ede ye bibi we eye IMF report o enye sabio Ato Forson report we an international firm international authority sabio okasa they talk with fact they cannot lie. They admit and say John Mahama ankasa nim say na nado aban den had a key role near more ye no and then the man see the nya a jinabre titrew ewo oman adwadie eso na eya na Ghana fo ye wure free near man ntentem ye wure timi free nsem near man ntentem pa because ye nyina be kaya before no na dollar no da 17 o ye hu de see ye and ehuri ya beto 14 and it tells you perfectly say it was bound to happen. Say definitely there is something going on by the administration effectively no na ashasie erede emma aduaba but fofi anto ata ena simasifo omo benya akwanya enti it becomes as a shock say Ato Forson timi ko gina nipa nim na Kwasi Ampanyin journalist gina ho na ono anim say Ato Forson on join news so na ko kan say the debt restructuring no aboa ma o man na ye stable na won tumi anka nkyerɛ say baabi nya wo na wo ka kyerɛ me say the debt restructuring another day wo ka kyerɛ me say aboa amasabio ene the economy enya baabi agira onka because join news for the enim the omo ye because join news there henim say omo ye paid by their bosses to do their job but the report no wuntumi nye den enedete. This is the official report. Me maame Monica me mwakwaba. Ena me ba maame amanya akunso mwakwaba yepa. Where your official report from the what? From the IMF. Wuntumi edete. Make it clear to Ghanaians say, sabio Dr. Bawomianom nanado nom enhyehyɛ ye. Ena edi nkoso bi aba ɔman no yesikasɛm mu. Now, you know the funny part? The funny part, and I say, Ato Forson didn't truck a sepa. Apart from the Okan ye or Hano. Wakako chan trobia emu edru. Na ene Yankopo you talk on you talk on you. Yankopo way. So true to us ya kunya. Now I train ye pa. Me pesa me no nyina. Yen couldn't cut your video way. Na yen digest video way. Apart from ento ya kwa we di another trobi or where about gold for oil. Any gold purchasing program. Ato Forson di ya. I am a report no actually completely different from what the man is saying. Yen couldn't kotie.
Dr. Ato Forson has revealed that the much publicized gold for oil policy under the previous administration never involved any actual barter of gold for petroleum products. Speaking on PM Express with Evans Mensah, the minister touched on how the policy widely credited with helping stabilize the city was in fact nothing more than a conventional cash for oil arrangement, despite repeated public assurances by the previous administration that gold was being used directly to procure oil to ease pressure on foreign exchange reserves. Dr. Forson insisted that no such barter ever occurred.
Ato Forson can ye say or no. According to him, no say he is a finance minister. And bro far Ghana akunya as a finance minister no. Why yen who say gold for oil Dr. Bawumia ba ya sabio stabilize even electricity wo minum no. Emma patrol boate ba former bedru 11 no. Kwasi ampanyi na Ato Forson se ono de ohun bi krata bi e kire sa. Na de wahu eye cash for oil and ohun ye. Odi enkonko tie bra ono kasa asem no.
They brought in about 2 billion. And then under the NDC in the last 6 months, we brought about 5.1 billion. So you could see the change alone from the gold board angle.
How much of what we're seeing now is also attributed to their policy of the BOG buying from the big mining players?
So BOG buys gold and keep the gold. It is two different. I hear people comparing these two policies, but they are two different policies. It doesn't mean the same.
But we need the gold to buy oil.
One uses local currency to buy the gold and keep the gold in its vaults. We buy the gold, sell the gold, and bring the forex to accumulate reserves.
But you know the
okay, tie. Ato Forson person can check Ghana for say the MPP is doing very well, NDC is doing very well. Adentia, the omoyani is different from what the MPP is doing. Adentia say omo no NDC for no. Omo to gold no omo akwa akoton no omo de currency no abagana maimu. Enti omo to gold no omo akwa akoton no omo de akwa akoji de ben dollars e de aba o mainum. But na me no kasai adwadi for say omo ne dollars. Already Jacopo. TBA Pro. Ato Forson say they are performing very, very well. Because omo gold na sikana omo nsakano omo de ba o minum into they are doing well. Because MPP there na ye the city no to gold no Ghana maimu a ye de kogu ye bank said they buy ye bank no ebenya ahodene. To Ato Forson, that is not something good to be done. And he don't actually appreciate what Anado was doing. Now the young Korean to us didn't video no. We bra there is a big expose pa a video way answer video be bossy yentie.
The impact should be the same because the BOG keeps the gold and then ultimately buys oil with it. Oil that would have bought with Forex. So then that lessons you keep the Forex that you have, you keep.
I'm not aware that there was a direct barter.
Tie pa. Enam sa Ato Forson oyentrofo no opese on conduct ne ho mischievously ntino. At the beginning, he wanted to say something like said the omo ye no eya de be a bean seed, the omo no omo dia ba they are the new ideas and everything. And a journalist national agency should be asema wo kan. It's like you are actually copying what Dr. Bawumia and the MPP government was already doing. And they say that MPP are buying the gold on a koji oil no the aba. But most more dear, more gold no kotonwa, na mo the scanner to oil the aba. At the end of the day, no, the same thing and amoya, which means to say you guys are copying actually what the MPP was doing. Ato Forson odane ya wa mini wetwa order form adentia. He don't want any single credit. What when pabon? Pesa credit ba kumpo ebeko in favor of the MPP. So he diverted the idea and started talking trash. I'm
not aware that there was a direct barter. Okay. I'm not aware. There was no direct barter.
What about the go for oil?
It didn't work.
Tie. Akwasi dabi ono de. Oh, say there has never been any. I'm not aware. Two different things. This guy, because of his mischievous, I dream one year done it. One can see ni pise on the books of the finance ministry. No, yanye battle or say or no personally or yene personal one yen institutional. I dream one inti. So not personally. Oni on theory, I know Nimbibia say Ghana for Eddie Good Ekokoje oil eba Ghana da. Oh, one body. Adia momo opposition a moankasa motu monumu se moba mobese sano. Adia moankasa mu Minister of Energy kwasi ampanyi Jinapo. Ono abebi na no akase omo ba betwa sa policy no when you want power. So what does Ato Forson actually want to say? He is lying to Ghanaians because ototia now twate.
It didn't work properly. Bank of Ghana were largely paying the suppliers of those crude oil and petroleum product cash.
Still?
Yes, that was what they were doing.
Tie. Another mischievous expression. Or say Ghana buying Ghana yisika kurabe timpono. Na omo di sika ene tua omo de patrone oil ba omanum. But one can see ni pi or say largely enti duduo mu no na omo de sika ne tua. Enti so si duduo mu ana say efam bi wo ho a na ye di gold ne tua. Enti if that is the case ya, why should Ato Forson firstly say it did not work? Ya nye good for oil wo Ghana mamuda. Ongrofo omunkontompo. If you say largely, it means part of it was paid with cash. What about the rest? So first of all, this third you say the all can be an intro. The only thing that this guy want to win from this conversation is to attribute any you can say improvement in the economy to the NDC. But the reality is different. Into no ankasa or kasay or sign winano, the all can or kind pass be so hosu wom ocha not to kurada actually. Yentuado.
They never paid them with gold. Never.
You found this out for a fact.
I'm speaking to you as the Minister for
Finance.
Okay, and to listen to something. Was it largely they were paid with cash? He moves on later and says, they never pay them with gold. I'm talking as finance minister. So where do you stand? Hey, Grofo, wahu. Omo ye trek is omo boss for pepe. I'm on like and I'm on share video no mama. Omo ye trekish. Omo ya trofo pa. Nkontompo fo pa. They want to discredit everything connected to the MPP. And they want to take credit of everything that the MPP did. It would intro. When we saw the children, and I and I go forward because they cannot continue on that conversation because Omo to aswa Ato Forson na nimbe guase yento ado.
But they had a whole policy running called Go For Oil.
But I'm telling you, there was nothing gold going out and bringing oil in. They were actually someone somewhere, sitting somewhere in the Emirates was supplying the, what do you call it, the bulk oil distribution company. And then the bulk oil distribution, the BOG will be paying. They give the dollar, the CD to BOG, and BOG pays the dollars. That's it.
So BOG was
pure trade, nothing more than what they were touting. Nothing. It was far from what they were touting. There was nothing, there was no butter where gold was going to change for oil. No, nothing of the sort happened.
But you were in this country at the time, you were the minority leader when the former vice president.
Yes.
So the reason why they had some stability towards, I think, the early part of last year, towards the end, was because of the gold for oil. In fact, the point was that the depreciation would have been worse had it not been for gold for oil.
I'm telling you for a fact, there was no butter.
The question is, how did the overall domestic gold purchase program under the previous administration help to stabilize the economy? And Joy News' research has been studying the International Monetary Fund's comment on the previous administration's gold purchase initiative, which housed the Gold for Oil program. And our lead data and research analyst, Isaac Kofi Eji, joins me in studio with some findings. Kofi, what's the data been telling you? I mean,
okay,
first of all...
Sa journalist you also babejina hoy or the nsem bi no beto abontra ano edene pa. Ato Forson should be ashamed of himself at anywhere that he is. Me sheda ena me de sa video we eba. Se me no nyina yentie the journalist we ba beka. This journalist is actually reading from what? From the IMF report. It is completely different from what Ato Forson said to Ghanaians. What do you video no?
I'm confused. I understand and I know what butter is a direct exchange. But if the money is coming from a sale of a particular item, which is then for this matter, gold, if we're using that particular money to buy the oil, what's the problem?
Well, I mean, the IMF will put this better, they will explain this better, and this is the reason why today we decided not to do any refined numbers. We are going to quote what exactly the IMF said in the July report, and they speak about the Gold for Oil program, and as well as the gold purchase program of the previous administration. Let's see how it helped the economy. Did it help the economy, or it was something that put the economy in disarray? So I want...
Okay, until say papa in some of the Kenyan no. Sebio enkrata IMF for the buy July we are concerning a new man anado and an buying a year with what them call the under the IMF can say conditionalities and the management of the economy. And moreover, no, this is a specific on the gold purchasing program. Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia Edebaye. It will mean we assume ye pa na yenti says anema no more debaye no. Eka ho bi na ama or mine ye sika semna jina na nine so. And I say gold purchasing program no ebo or mine form yenti.
I want us to do this exercise together.
Okay.
Let's read what the IMF had to say about the...
Okay. Enti sap asadi way obi enta the picture. Ode ye screenshot na photo ho na save no as your reference because the NDC is capable of lying and inventing even numbers, cooking numbers, just to discredit Nanado's government. Meanwhile, Ivan Sankama Kofi Mwakwabapa. Say the BOG, which is the Bank of Ghana, has become a central intermediator in the gold sector, which was launched in 2021. The domestic purchasing program, an umbrella term for scams involving the BOG buying gold from domestic producers in a local currency. Very significant. Was significantly scaled up in 2024, almost tripping FZ, which is the foreign, what them call, the forest, why. Just a tripling, whether we didn't tell some can I end this for where some we Ghana and now support to and this, I think there's something wrong with your mind. We are trekkers. We are from contempo for the entire journalists.
Ekufuado administration's gold purchase program, MFA.
Right, so the BOG has become a central intermediary in the gold sector. Launched in 2021, the Domestic Gold Purchase Program, which you know as DGPP, an umbrella term for schemes involving the BOG buying gold from domestic producers in local currency, was significantly scaled up in 2024, almost tripling FS gross proceeds to how much? $2.8 billion, and in addition to $800 million accumulated in fiscal gold, contributing to an increase in domestic liquidity.
So let's end there. So this is the entire domestic gold purchase program, including the gold for oil program. Of course, we understand that the gold for oil program, according to the IMF, they wanted the Bank of Ghana. Their problem was that Bank of Ghana should not be involved. So the IMF did not cast a spell on the entire gold purchase program. What they didn't like was the fact that you had Bank of Ghana responsible for, paying the money, right? So take Bank of Ghana out of the equation. According to what you just read, domestic gold purchase program was very, very important in 2024. What did it do? It actually almost tripled Ghana's gross forex proceeds to 2.8 billion Ghana cedis. What did it?
Entity tie Ato Forson say, MPP abaya anyehwe. Well, who do ye? Omo anye bibia. In fact, there is a video whereby Ato Forson can't Ghana for say, IMF for say. Now the Danko Akufo-Addo administration was going contrary to the target of the IMF program. Na yamiya say obitumi kan sem we kirewo na nipa jitum. Now when you are going contrary to the target of IMF, they will never give you any other tranche. But yento aso. Asema papa yi kan nyina ne say the IMF for no actually say adia ba kwa no mo ani nje ho ne say the gold purchasing program no, they wanted what the Bank of Ghana to not involve himself. That is only what they have. But they can understand say the gold purchasing program no and nam so e Ghana fu ye sikasem no ebenya ahoto, especially sika ewo omanum oman benya sika ede aye de o so onye de tia manfo ka. The gold purchasing program increase it, triple it, say and the corner 3 times. Nyamina meka o nkase me yapipini. It is a journalist who is saying yentie ni nyina na yento ado tie
gold for oil program. Of course, we understand that the gold for oil program, according to the IMF, they wanted the Bank of Ghana. Their problem was that Bank of Ghana should not be involved. So the IMF did not cast a spell on the entire gold purchase program. What they didn't like was the fact that you had Bank of Ghana responsible for, paying the money, right? So take Bank of Ghana out of the equation. According to what you just read, the domestic gold purchase program was very, very important in 2024. What did it do? It actually almost tripled Ghana's gross forex proceeds to 2.8 billion Ghana cedis. What did he do? It says in addition to that $800 million accumulated in fiscal gold, so you had a portion of the program that was used to accumulate fiscal gold. And then you had also, contributing to an increase in domestic liquidity. It says that the value of BOG's exiting stock of gold has also increased by over $500 million in 2024, lifting the gross international reserve. So if you are talking about the current buffers that we have, what is the IMF position? The IMF says that, well, we know that the legacy of gold for oil program continues to pose risks to Bank of Ghana's balance sheet. So that is the problem that the IMF has with the gold for oil program and not the performance.
Okay.
For the performance, we have seen how it's helped the forex position by bringing in some $2.8 billion. In addition, Bank of Ghana actually building reserve in gold worth about $800 million. Now let's look at the last aspect, which for me is very important in terms of the MPP administration, what they actually did to stabilize the economy. It says that the new government has expressed strong support.
Yantuba said that Tio, we NDC with IMF in the room. Tiasama NDC are buying a candy farm PP amanyoko when they meet the IMF men on the table. Tidiomoka, maybe a lot what
for the reforms under the supported plan in terms of the MPP administration, what they actually did to stabilize the economy. It says that the new government has expressed strong support for the reforms under the supported program. It says, new government, we are talking here about the Mahama administration.
Karen, yeah.
It says, the authorities, here he's talking about the Mahama administration, see the latter. The latter will be the Akufo-Addo administration, as having played a key role in stabilizing the economy and providing a credible anchor to addressing long-standing vulnerabilities and buttress confidence. This is from the IMF.
So what does the finance minister mean then?
So the finance minister says that, well, we did not see the gold for oil, we did not see direct butter. But what he said, he was very careful. He decided to use largely cash. So if somebody says largely cash, there it could be that there were other means. But he is saying that largely, instead of us giving people gold to get oil, exactly, we were rather buying the oil with hard cash. But the question is, if Bank of Ghana was keeping the gold as reserves and possibly using liquidity that it has to buy the oil and keep the gold to build a reserve, what's the difference?
Well, I like to think there must be a difference. If the money is not coming from the sale of the gold, I see what you mean. The backdoor approach, where if they're using the liquidity or if they're using the monies that they have acquired, if not for the sale of this particular gold, what's the difference?
But definitely, that's why what you read first is important. Liquidity. It means that portion of the gold was actually sold.
Then I come with you then.
Exactly.
There's no
difference. It was actually sold for reserve, right? And the most important thing is that don't burn your reserve to do what? To actually stabilize the city or buy fuel. That's the whole thing. Keep the reserve in a certain form. So if you had in addition to the 800 million accumulated in fiscal gold, it says that contributing to an increase in domestic liquidity, right? Domestic liquidity. Where you are Bank of Ghana, tripling the FX gross proceeds to 2.8 billion. FX gross proceeds here, we are talking about dollars, right?
Yeah.
What helped it?
Yeah.
It was the domestic gold purchase program. And so maybe we may say that, well, the gold for oil program actually put some sort of, difficulty on the balance sheet of the Bank of Ghana. This, for me, doesn't really look bad in terms of what the gold purchase agreement or the gold for reserve program or the domestic gold purchase program that was actually being run by the previous administration did. And in fact, to actually end this is the essence.
Yeah.
What it's supposed to do in terms of stabilizing what? This is the economy. And the IMF says that, well, we have seen what the current government administration has been saying about the previous, I mean, in public, they might not say it, but maybe they might tell the IMF. And the IMF has put that in the report. It says that they see the latter as having played a key role in stabilizing the economy. So it's, in simple terms, the Mahama administration is admitting that the current stability we are having is from, I mean, a part of that is from the previous administration. The previous administration is also saying that, well, we got stability through gold for oil program.
Right.
So it depends on, I mean, the jury is out there to actually judge.
Whether we sold it, and
liquidity.
we liquefied it, and all of that, It'll
be interesting.
But
Abusiafo se mo nyina mate video no bi. Ye nyina ya tie o. We a report from the IMF. IMF or Dr. Ato Forson, I recognize say they are credible institutional. You should not doubt about it. Entine, who is doing the other? Why na yon yonko? And this one person munya MPP for. The facts are clear. The facts are clear. The facts are clear. Say. Se Ghana fo nyan to boase to abama de Dr. Bawumia eno no ankasa ode na adwen kese baaye eto anema na na oye no so a enka this whole things wouldn't have been the way that it is. Enka anema no be kosu ye because you see obi o ono na de ade ne baaye no, he knows how to manage it better than who is trying to copy him. And Simon Vacant Uganda and he said, and this ya buying no barb on town, say, buying papa ba, no ye de day. Ebe country say, Omona omo, Eddie Ahotaba. Now I am a for super country say there be, and this if for no country, yen I am a for say, Omu who said, another danko kufuado na buying. Adi omo ye ya, ama sebio and neya huatoya no eya de pa into your mobile to aso. Namuni man dear. The only thing they say, and this if one, they think about what they will eat today and not what they will have tomorrow. Instead of them to reserve the gold and make the Bank of Ghana more stronger, they are rather thinking of going out to sell the gold and bring in money, liquid, in their pocket so that they can chop some. This is only the difference. This is only the difference. Because the MPP was thinking about future, bringing the economic stability more efficient. And you know, mama yensu ago dunungu ho. Yensu ago dungu na emfa mark ye ho. They said UN UK for year, France for year, Italy for year, America for year, omo currency no. Ewa hodre no. Yenye bi. And this is for the about almost that be. Ye Togo do not kwa koton. Ye Togo do no Africana for ho. As Ghana for chinchim monsa the price ye pay the amawon. Na ye moma banya kwa koton aba be this on faso. Na dear yan se nkrofo. They have no idea. And anytime that they comes in power, what they do is say, adia MPP abanya ye no. Omoto ni din fufuro. No more the yedi omope. They have no ideas. They have no initiatives. Until they are buying bibayeno. And no mom na this for bar omofa no more to the dim fufro. It is I am a focus same way. Now so unjia nuni. Na mom Ato Forson. Nentra obedi achiro. And on the bayer juma. Esefata wa. Aye. Saima fu bekanchiro say, dear Ananado Adanko Kufuado na aban ye. A sombo. Aman this if one they are following the same path. Said about to me, I call monim. Now soon dear nun tum. Now mum dear Sam George and Ato Forson bekanchiro on the bayer juma. Esejoa. Eno. Any the echo. Now, I want Ghanaians to look at something very, very important. Budget now Ato Forson in the core parliament and this if one no airborne monsamuno. enye hwe se kotobe kumuma obi bisa se die ntia okese kotobe kumuma eye kotobe kumuma because it has nothing good for Ghanaians, but actually the idea ban say they are just coming to increase enema ewo manum enti niema Ato Forson the call parliament ne binie list of some of the public goods and services likely to be affected by the 30 to 40 increase in fees and charges as contained in the middle year budget by the NDC. Enti wenum na ye niema more probably no NDC for ede eka ebeto so omo beye den omo sign the fees as akese ebeka ho omo betum te say de omo de 1 cedi ato 1 liter so no omo de ade bia na na auto 100 cedis no ene efri ochna koi ye de 40 cedi beto so ntu beko na da 100 cedi 40 cedis enema ni bi eni transport and vehicle services enti car any you can say akwantuo wo lorry fare ye ba betum probably vehicle registration fee ukoto car monoba na obe register ye ba betum roadworks and inspection charges ukoye roadworks as a driver ye de bi ba beka ho driver's licenses and renewal fees ukojo driving license and as ukoko renew wo driving license ye ba betum commercial transport permit enti se wo kofa niema bi e de afiri ba bi e de akoba bi a ye de bi ba beto so sanso na yen kan say education related charges e wa adisuam niema ye de ye betotum e bi ni exams registration fee de na do de chemo amose mo mpe no mahama so de bi beka ho enti exams registration who register won so kwa exams a ye de 40% beka ho teacher training certification and license fees okoye teacher training certificate ye de be ma no ye de ka e ba be ye de ka beto so sa so license na de be ma so teacher ni no ye sign de eka abeto so school registration and capitation charges okoba bi so oko register ho say oba be ye school obeko school a ana say oba be ti school a eno nso no ye de sika ne bi e ba beto so ensuo ene ahodie ana ahonie or say new water connection and meter installation fees monthly tariffs and service charges enti ene okase wo ye den o yemfa nsuo mra wo fie ana say yemeye den yeme install meter e wo fie a eno no ye de price additional charge be ka ho sanso na sabio ahosiesie ahonie ho enyuma nketinketi bia no ye de charges be ka ho electricity tariff nkane ye de bi ba be ka ho utility connections and meter fees nkane prices no utility no mona mo schools ne na asefo no university for ne tertiary institution for na asefo no nyina no monka hu se enche bia prices na mutua no ye de bi ba be ka ho immigration and citizenship services passport application and renewal fees okoye passport and say okokase yen renew passport mawa we are going to add some 40% increment to it. Visa processing charges okoje visa de abagana ye diske ba beto so entry and departure stamp certificate of citizen fees entry se ube uragana maimu ube pie frigana maimu a stamp na ye de be boss no ye beje sika ne bi ye de bi be ka ho working and residence permit fee o person me yejuma Ghana maimu from when ye for omo frama no ne beba omo nye Ghana for wa unye Ghana ni dia o ba so be yejuma na se o person metra o my Ghana mu na wo hia krata e be kire sebio uti Ghana abramra ebo ho banya they said that they are going to add 40% fee to it. Yenko businesses so yes business and regulatory services, business registration and renewal fees. And it's all called the register general ho say we could register business and I say we call then we could renew business registration fee it is likely say the 40% increment about the tool. So trade, import, export lances. Enti wa mo ye sabio mo de niam afira ma no ne ba mo de niam efiri Ghana ko ama no ne bia no mo lances na mo de ye adwuma no se duru se mo ko renew a se de tie bia no ye de bi ebeka ho commercial and advertisement lances wo person mra me o register yen kan say commercial sign bi logo bi title bi unko de unko register in the name of your company no any more pay advert more pay akwanya aye advert e wo manum no you guys will pay more. So person for poster kesi bi nsi ba all these things they are going to add more fees on it. Health and medical services apomodene any enuro sem so benya enuro anom na asefo the NHIS registration and renewal premium into the National Health Insurance Scheme no and then uko renew and also uko register yeah the 40% babe to so users fee for users fee for outpatient consultation and diagnostic test and say uko say yenye den consult doctor and as hope say more diagnosis na okoye test ama yehu how e da wo so a aban no discharge ni bi ba beka ho charges of birth and death certificate and vaccination enti awo ho certificate ni owo ho certificate no ye de bo no bi ba beto so sase na ye okowo vaccine so a ye de bo no beto so infrastructure and toll services enti yen kan say mpuntujuma binom ai edan asie ne company sie ne hwan any toll no ene ye de bi beka ho vehicle entrance entry permit se bia ofuro card cross road ato wo so a ye de bi beka ho ena bridge ahodo binom so wo ho a any special areas bi wo ho a wo de ka twam a they are going to add money to what you were already paying. Legal and judicial services, court filing and hearing fees. Interesting, you file asemo court. And say court to froze a branayeti or numa sema. Charge na the charge or no. We are going to add more to it. Bail bond administration charges. And Tiabane said, yacho, and I say, what the bonnie be now we hear bail. Can we say the 40% ebeka ho not notary and authentication fees entino sesabio ya ye wa brochire uhia police yan kan say clearance ai sabio authentication and Ministry of Justice the be ma no ye the 40% ebeka ho fees for official gazette ai entino say wono o pese unchange udin bi person ye ade bia wo hia official gazette to say be gazette officially a ye the sikan bi beka ho publication and legal documents searches entino se bia we I don't know publication and legal documents searches yes and also security and identity services police clearance ubetua ai fire certificate and lances fees and also ubetua private guide and company lances and also ubetua by to the Ministry of Interior and I say ICT and telecommunications service charges for national digital ID Ghana card yedisika ebeka home fees for e-government service passport appointment cooperative filing until ukoye passport o charge ne de bibeka home admin and data fees from NITA and related agencies until data no ye de bibeto so other government fees and statutory charges archives and National Library research and filing fees, environmental and compliance charges, tourism and culture site enti na tourism kra na de bi beto so eya asemo just aban we eye zu ampara minyanom. These are the charges. Hey, Krofo we azan for 40% now. A bibesu e will be a fee. The obayan or mine no more nebiano. The NDC is probably going to charge you, and you have nothing to say, and you cannot defend yourself. Now, Medemobesia, my beer phone last night. Utumi fre na watch the wadren kakra. Yeah, nanka no road no ho. Aka kwanya NDC for so mobeye. Kumase for. So on se mo adwumani so. Ai. Nanado, why hwe amayen. Nanado time edren. Kumase kwan wanye. Na me no kasei. The NDC did not recognize any road in Kumase, but he says he's going to construction of Kumase Outer Ring Road. Canada Japan, what the Ghana for bro? Campaign for we the TMPP, and some for can for MPP huntino, and then when we are here, mahama the open or the aye, bonnet. Adwebone aban e na odi bu yen abusha ma bie phone last na tum osu tumi frɛ na wa kyerɛ wadwen afade me de ba ye ho. Dollar man say it is only in Ghana politics, it's only in Ghanaian politics where the party in power thinks about the next election, but not the next generation. Useless NDC party led by a gay man, where they move through. Etiabusha mabie phone last na tum momenti e video sa hodo na wa obetumi afre no so watumi afre a kire wadwen
mempehwe ontimi nya bibia amaye ye ba $100 o se wate dollar so yeni dollar so ye pa yenya mi pebia kra ne makra minya na de no betumi aye amaye
we sure so Ghana but no say from 17 about 10 something I think I go for say positive
17 o me mo ska na kwese bi mama na ubenya bia mame
wo pebesa han onya
me pebia kra ne ma na minya ubeden atimanya de ko banga peska am kra ne ma minya na ubeden atimaka
madam pacho bra
masa kind of them
okay but I will say Ghana I think you are in a different part of Ghana because clearly no I know people are almost see they can access the dollar and almost abandon yard say never yet abandon soon chance on your nessa
debut na dentina ye Ghana cities na dollar na dia na ye maye me need dollar $2 me $20 to them ntimen ka dollar sam me kro no mu na ye den na ye ka ye koport ntimi nyine ma obo se watete ne ma so bia nu wa wate
so support why 24 hours so the mortgage ni amutu
24 hours na 10 ne ma so 24 hours
he said the mortgage ya amutu
24 hours na 10
I had the mortgage there eba for
enyama eba na ebehu na enyama ni de mitimi ka se eba
it's clearly emphasis Sabia first half of the year no you can say be assess performance maybe 1 to 10 na osha president
the MPP here na ogusu a o hye ne ma ne ma so hye on hye nwie on hye nwie to no antimi nya ne bibia the MPP no egu ho eno ana
ye ja me pacho mi chi obiara
obiajo so ma me
se de Ghana fo ara na wo bo no no o sanda no woni me da was in them heaven reba Ghana na se ade heaven to hell
yeah
from ndama abobodu nyina wa atum
yeah
what's the dollar wa be fom dollar be fom no wana wona egbedufo a waka say na complain the dollar wo nya bi
yeah
o sanda nya na ya wa na ye kite bi ye mu fara yare mfa nkofie mo nkofom na ya mfa nkota na bo ye de no wo Ghana nti mo be ya ma me de be keep miska
yeah of course
na bropa madama da akọ na ma akọ ya a black market na ma akasisa na me da tada na bo ye de enwu Ghana fo asama war aba na ma baba owo anyim oreba no mpoche no sanda musume eso pe won hwe ndama abado won hwe ndama orisisi wo Ghana ye hu hwe mo oreba no odoso se bibiara reke bia plus 40%
plus 40%
health insurance impo obi nye sika
yeah
na wa akaye bi nti nkwafo na wo fo won wo hu omobo no wo ye wo de mo won Na se bi reba da bra. Na se na bebre wo rubo ho amande. E ka da hospital bibi a wo be ye bi so wo be giskato do.
Bibia.
Ghana fo mo ehu. Se de musu ensu musu ansa. Na mo ehu ma na ado na ba wo mia wo ye. Se de mala mo ehu de ohhehye. Mala mo ehu de mo akoto azema wa hye mo aton mo kala TV. Mo da se aka di black and white na yerugwan. Se mama wa fe bibiara abo no bo.
Yeah.
Ati da wa se wa aka fe benyini bi ofi ehwo beebi de.
Yeah, Korea.
Wo wonu krom de on be ye ambassador ehwo beebi.
Yeah.
Na la wa ati bi da. Inti na da mi bu asemi be ya papa na ne party fo won to ho amo adweno sa de wonyim da wore be ye. Na se me brisa the opposition party no so wore ba de na wore ye wo man no mu. So what's opposition? It's now one and them on could be in a can was some. What's one waka for obi on your gun ni? One wasn't one was so would die on your back of the wall Sunday Yamba Yana Wabo will come in our American food.
Of course.
It is the beauty bar, Manana or to be. But America Manana no by yes, said the one in our paper nibi. And to wonder man, one will to me the baby bar, or to be.
Yes.
And no, one was in the baby, the number, man, and papa, but no come on what they are master position was the man. Ebe mama, uti me dear.
Na mama, you
never catch and there's Samaria. Ah, ne mama and the papa were better no men who wow, no, and you bring them. Mother catch and do you feel I need to see. Oh, your first lady was gone or in the Oh no, oh, ya African. Oh no, do about one into America. We are see baby our when they feet to America. What her feet, and then it was war done, Zaman. Samira and papa no wabatina sa wa ye full and if po abetina wa wo be nyina wa atina wa ye wo bibia la wo. Oto me ngi de bi sa ndo o full and obo be bi mpo a ofi wa ati no nyim ho. Ono no mo se mo mpedo oba first lady na mo po obi a ofi achichi onya Africa ne party le biara de. On be ya ambassador on fe mamu. Oh na se nkrofo ka de se Ghana fu ya hwe yen yi ho ye ya. Wabaton Ghana Miami Igbo fa oye no kwatrogo.
Na one we say papa betra konwa so na sansan nsem no sampaja na ho because we say emre
ya Igbo yi Ghana mo hu da yi obi me hwe program bia we yi ma papa okasian wa abra warrior campaign mu enti ye hu da say ya ma Ghana no onje na ye yi egwadifo murusu mamu sukra dramafo mamu sukra ebe na kakra ya na murusu yi more ba no so che more be o san de minjin de yi na wo tuma for 4 years na wo boko ni bi baba be kan ho abati am mbako school free obu ani bako school free malama tenant o member ba so ko bi o wie no asengama nkoye na me bi san do na la kumpo orukon na mpo no ye free no rebre Ghana fo manu ma yo free so amono 28 208 na mo ha say 2024 yi so ma se anom enti ma ba biara mo ntinem Montina mobi ankasa. Na montina me damala. Na mbre no sha. Mala mo boss samadwi. No bi no baka cho de sesa wadwi na wo kira bo. Wo ka chem de wo ba mende me nyina akofo. Mo hwe ndama akodo. Papi oton spare part e hu de nyanya abrudo onya dollar.
Yeah.
Na me fam dollar mbra no wo ma me 10 na abochi no no kwaje wo bank wo no kwaton 17 no 30 no fema. Mare mfam dollar nkonde na me da coach na American nyama nkoten so na me mfam de ronko osande ye project baby ya na se mere ye project wo fie ina da member America scam de ko obotu ma aye ndo runtu me ya na me de ko aka ya me to ho
me yi mani kura at a good time
na dollar so won sesa wo renka de we twom na wo twesika foforo ma ba ka wo biara nti Ghana fo me ye pare ne ye nya nti ye kom na ye ntena ho owura eski Ora
Mafu
Manato.
Me da so ase mame. Ya me nka ho. Ye mame ama na ye tie nka no. Ai, we make a very strong yeah. Progress ni bebre ye project o ma suspended because e yensemfo. And na me send this car ko Ghana ye charge na 10. But me ko Ghana na me kese me ko akopɛ dollar no bia is 13 adentia. NDC is lower minded people. They are weak. Abrofro chiti omo all the time. Mimia Anthony or say Memo Kwaba.
Yeah, now what is a minute?
But you me pa na unso.
Nakupada ma say the wada one mon pa kaka yeguso.
Ye da Yankopon ase.
Kaka metumi kan say ye Ghana for nankasa no. Ye kan ye na Dubai ye de o ye de ba umia doctor sorry. Your buy ya wo ye enemo de gu akwa mu credit score wo de buy say opese ay Ghana te say abuchire. O kan ye no mo so onye de obekọ no so bi wa mi credit score we so bi
O sha se no ye ho nyuma ya.
Na efutu e de ma Ghana fo nyina wo montie mi ankasa meka le nye se play fa me am wo fase am de ko training college be chim senkananka we mu eye ba ya an kontem aka man tina fie ebi se efutu e de ma wo nyina wo montie futu e de ma wo nyina nti de wo mo ye wo mo no sabi aha me yare ya me koda hospital exams machine se me fa mu ene ne ma ye mi nyina me ntwa kapreba me ye adwuma me ntwa 1 cedi ani mi bibia me didi 3 times a day and kwa mama cafe ewia me didi enumere san de aduane aba na samoti wona se ye nya wo bia wono na adwene mu do a woni mu nyansa a wono nye pesami nkuminya e de se kana Japan na se ba wo mi so wo ye sa nema wo nyina na se bi mo so wo ye esiremuni enti mo mpese obeba na adwene na dan tiri mu no asantefo na nkasa ya kanfo no kra na dodo no asa adwene do mu eda ye tiri doctor dia o doctor ka so bo ye nyina abroche system pepe and o ka so de bagana abroche system ni ma ko so bia no eno ka na doctor e so de ba mo so mo mpe ene de tax ne bremu a na se akwala no school fees ya de ba ye me kokotu 150 million na me kotu ya ye be chem training college eso na do time no mo mpre bibia o no mo didi 3 times a day me see yan kase say and no mo didi once and then once ani e de ma wo na se na do aye nyama wo nyina oba e wo ho won tue school fees o sha tade free do de kwa sore wo she ni free do de kwa games ni nyina free registration fee free na se mo se mo mpe free na mo mpe bibia na se ene no e san de ayi ba school fees ye de ayi be double ama na registration fee en kwa be bre en na se mi wa se mi en kwa mi ma mi nua bi e frɛ me wofa se ni se senam sha de mo pa na mo saka na bo wuntimi wuni po papa ntimi hwe wono ko tena fie so makosisa na makosisa dollars am kosisa ye me nya no 14 bank kra me ko bank me wofa se bi adwuma bank e kwatire no se ne wofa bank won de binya bi man timi me wo yi alaji fo no mo yi bi na man fa number ma
wow
e frɛ na the wife akoshia na no akosisa ye 13.5 ka kra bi na 14 bi se yan kase se
na enti say de no mo ye no krom na dollar da 10 na what sense ne
omo di 10.11 almost 11 in cities no kenken penifo ka bi se kenken kwa ase obi a ni aduane a so ye de nti wo duro ne wo man wo de si wo na wo ayi wo man na esi wo duro no kin wo ni bibia aduane bi de ha wo no aya wo fufu adi that's what kaka banku adi enti Ghana fo na nkasa no na ne ye de suko ni nyina so be bon so a ye mfa mo kana de Japan ono nkasa na kana Japan na ye sa nyama wo nyina wo bisi dwaso e wo fa asibi so kira de wo dwaso second school wo si sika mo de ba ye se o mo mfa nkoman kofo mo ye da training teachers ni bi e wa ayi e bi free ha na mo ba sika ba o mi amane na do mo de ko nyina no o mo sika ko si o mo nsem no o man sika na man kofo no beto aba no
so o ni kana Japan krofo
so ti ase mo fa sika no mo de na ya de say doctor e sika o mo de sika ko pa so sika no amanfo tena sika no so o man fa man kwala no nipa no mo koto aba no obi ofre chi ba transportation de mamma ba koto aba no san eniama wo nyina de di hwa na kana Japan so o mo na ma we campaign na no so afachire no so ka ensemhunu e kira manfo say mo nto aba no so se de eniama ba nyina no ye ne wo ha sei no e fa ba sa be gua so nti wo ma me ana so wo nua bi yare a wo betina hwe so o
dabi ba
But you know, that's all mammy and I say, we have baby yare. Now, for us to be yare, and I say, if it's Cabra, I am from 5 and 1. Sika kra be ye de obetimi de akwa me ye de ahwani pa obetimi me nipa na wu no asa afi no akota daka so kwakwa ye
dabi
onti kana fo no nkasa no ye ne aye jejeje so ho ye ne aye mpa de papa so ho ye mpa de papa especially akamfo no ya akamfo no nkasa asantefo achemfo eborofo ana ye sa nkwasi asem ma sa na ma we se nyina ba se nkasa regions me sa we se nyina ye kabo ye kan hu bom ene ye gya bibia ma ne kai ene ye koto aba no a ene koko na do tumu we nkofo mu ntukoko mu aso bio
why no mo kotum na obo nye
omo fa nipa ami ye do koko na se edua moluba ye utwa board ye di free ye na do ato moluba atokoko ade adua ma fa papa fo do ho board ye nyina na do nka so kokotwa board ye na se ye meton na wo kwakua ni no na abesa koto oba kotwa board ye akodidi ya sama usika na mo se mo mpe we na mo open to kwane se do ma we se de board ye ayemo na mo de sum mfie na mo nka we nyina me na fufo bia na mo Germany ebi wa America o mo giska besi ha e de ko bie ko so e ka bubro se o mo guso o mo tua sa aka no we mu nyina mo
long years
we mu nyina
do sumi bi obi
mo se mo ntiase so tiase mo se mo ntiase na nkwala nketenkete mo bu mo pa ya gi alawa no enso ye nkoto aba no enne bebre betena fie enti wona bo Ghana fo na nkasa na saa bi we se na aba no se amfa anya sua de na se chire bi na ndisi se wo sa aba ne ba sa akoto aba ma wo mu a kana Japan de e se kana Japan de nyame betua ne kapa kana Japan nyame betua ne kapa ane ma boni a wo ye no o fa suma se ye no no office obi ahu no nyame ahu pa kana Japan kana Japan nyame betua ne kapa ne sika no a wanya no sika no woni sika no wo wu agya ho sika no wontimi ni sika no bi no wu ya kan wontimi ni no wu agya ho na bro nya so de be bompa ye ese nyame enhyira ene na dom se o man nkwatenten na o man kokoduro na afi no de o ye wia na wuti UK ha ofake wuti UK ha wo ye dwuma waba ye di sika ma wo sika de ma wo wabe koda hotel ana wo ni ema ana wo kodi sika na wasa akodi sika ese wo de kwakoye campaign na de sika na kwaye sika na so wansa ankoye wa fa sika na anko wasa di sika na ka ho wo so anwa he space se obi a sedi what to afimu na nam ho no ayo ho kasa te se de ayo fa ke kasa te se de ase de wiase nyina ye de nkonto ponku a ane kro no na wo tena wiase na ye se be yo de kabi oti Ghana kura onye se bi ko bi ankoti Ghana kura anya sa nkwase ade we se ne nka se bi ahoche ne bae oti UK ha wo ya dwuma na bo tumi ati adi boni we se asa aka ho afa asa akota ai Canada ton achi na wo ye we ya betumi aboa me se agia na o ka ai ya of friend na wo friend o Saudi busa no ya wo de wo friend na busa na mase emra mo ye campaign ye mi diska koy wa duane o mo no a ene ye nyina mo de maye agia mini papa no
oh I see
o ye busa no o be ka me ho asoma kire agia o ye ai mi kru ye boni o side
yeah
o ye siremuni se me bu aka che oni mi pa ye ntra wiase nya sa kana Japan ye ntra wiase nya ni bre boni sa ani bayifun so bayita nta wo si ya wo ye mfa so be na ba so no fa ke wuti landing ha wo ye adwuma nya so onya adwuma o yiri ye adwuma wo so wo ye adwuma na wo ye di scam ma wo scan ko ye mfa nko boa obi oni bie na wa betra Accra na wo da hotel na wo se san ma ya san ko gi sika so scan so san ko gi so wa san fa nko na wa san di sika so san aka ho and then wo ba boiling point wo first wo ba o kasa ti say ase de wo ye soro abofo kontomponku a ese landing for no pam no chairman na wo die na ni kire ye so mu yin free so kra o fa ka nye ni papa bia adwen papa ni kiri o ni pa fo papa o fa ka no o ni pa fo o ni pa boni fo adwen boni wontim amo ye ni pa boni fo nyina na mo de ho akwadwen Canada pon no anti meko no obi nso aba me do ase bebre
me da nso ase miwia
anti ya na wa baguma ma kakra yanko pon da ro kakra
ye bebom me da ase
so the main enterprise why
yeah
me da ase pa
bye
okay bye
yemia panyine Anthony osei na ete ne nkana Anthony May enterprise ewo kantamanto opele da papa ye de yedam nkonwa mpaboa ene belt Bibia we ade bi e de leda na ye de o peleda papa pa ai jane nan so etimi ya de pa no so be Tony May Enterprise in Kantamanto. Mami Monica be mo akwaba.
Etisay.
Pacho ye na nso e. Hello.
Etisay.
Pacho ye na nso e.
Yesu adumo.
Ye na Yankopon ase.
Hey, magana na aye din say.
Dendem pa.
Ghana aye din baba rasta manko. E say the owo sika kura fato ho. Ana kufuado yi ba omi aba power na ko Ghana why?
Project amanfo ye nyina ya suspend ni nyina o. Me ma me Elizabeth Chame no ko.
Ya ko ya te. Mami nkoye campaign maba omia. Ti so se de boabo ho. Na twate kiti mami nkoye campaign maba omia why?
Matipa. Hello.
Mami mami nkowa rasta.
Waka mate.
Yo, na enyumre mpacho mi ma me ma ne be wo ti se de.
Bia ho ye pa ma me. Bia ho ye.
Yo, na de ho nyina ne se. Let's say the agafo. Amunkonkonkom maso na abo betiri su no nyame atua muka.
Amen.
Rasta o kai se yeto abawie ye na e fa miti ma na me yale no.
Me kai pa.
O kai se say mama Ghana ma be 6 months kro mbe fina na akufu ade ne ma umia.
Aye.
Enonya na biwo.
Aye.
John Mahama ninja Mahama pa to semba ma wo no. John Mahama suga ni kitanto se kosia. John Mahama timi buga na man God ni NDC for. Na ani pleboni ni nyina ye betwa ye ni ye be sande akọ MPP. E di akọ gu de Japan so. Kare de Japan nyame betua ni kase ya ni ni betutu agu nanum. Nese betutu agu nanum kare de Japan. Rasta ni bibi. Eyi ara offline.
Dabi mi ti o pa ma me kasa, ye ti o.
Eyi ni ba ka chire. Oyale. Na. Ma mi ntimi nante papa no de akona si kan so nko hospital ko bi holy family na. Omo de akona ya to na nsane nne. Ewie ye gotie mi ka 12 million.
Hey. Health insurance enya adwuma biem.
Dabi.
Hey.
Ami say ọmọ mu ye campaign ti na kufu adu bia nyame nti abeka awrade etu abeka awrade nipa bia okoji na kufu adu ne ba omi ahu sika bia na awrade me sro sama nsore kasie omo awrade ma nsore ati obi tumo awrade etu abeka titro MPP chairman owo kuro nga nyame nti aneka omu nyina ye Canada Japan trofo no mu ye campaign ti aba omi ese ya asase we rasta ma ka kire wo me say ayi ye ti aba me ya uni aba me unino boni diri kiram dia wa ye rasta no ani agrada akunto kwa na nso de se sabato ba omi aba ha sabato any MPP chairman ya wo ha any MPP for mo an ko hia ba wo mia e wo ayi ye kan say pick ayi Joburg omo jiji ba wo mia t-shirt ni ba be hihye nsuom omo jiji ba wo mia t-shirt be tieti aso me na me ka kire mo sabato omo eba me asate na ayi ya passport nti na me wo passport office omo dwane ya bla na hu omo Canada Japan ba kuro nga Cape Town omo ko hyehyia Canada Japan okototo nuane restaurant ma be di ye enu achi asana ba omi aba ha omo ji ba omi t-shirt binum hye omo de ko hye nsuom
wow
abayifo abronsanfo anne ye chairman ayi Ghana community chairman ya won se ne ti amanso so I board we wo kuro nga nyina omo abroko mi afiri so Man, your Matama, Fisaya to a baby, Maggie Batensi, and I'm saying, maybe to ano, maybe man, one trim in a Bagana community, some more you. Me one trim in Danamabagana community, some more. Yamibe Chiamukan and Quasiadia Moye, Yamibe Chiamukan and Bay Sama Moye. I blah. Ma kuntokwa se ya fi se ya to abawie ma kuntokwa akuntokwa yes sama ye kai ne nya ne na adu ha jo ma betimi abu aban jo ma betimi abu man jo mahama betimi abu man kronfo tachi amoa kronfo jo mahama abua kronfo no akronfo egu please o se ma koyi omo
we yi omo
ya ese na wa kasama NPP dia so do ko jail wa kasama NDC dia say you free jail cheka vintela no wo fi edia hemfo atem na kare dia japo wa hwenya me anim pa ya bura ne ese abrufo asantefo Montimi Antuaba, Naka Bura half of the Akura de Camodie, KPPS and Konya Post. More Abra half of who didn't I had the Moka MPP form. It's say, Tamu team Canada Japan, as a semi show Nipabiala. Etimi a dim more semi dim quasses and what about the dinner nado? You get ready your ball one wordy and dim quite MPP Sika. Canada Japan, one of the Papa Nakam. Sikani the only dama, say about 2 way, the best Canada Japan, and you will Abba. Because first in the annihilation, about when you relation, no more about so many. To when you ever to a real or did not come and say, I also be a rasta. Canada Japan, Tinako, the Nano so listening to say room. Also be Nano chia, full. Nano chia funre nani ma buagum onu kwa na nani nya ne tantanta we dia nti we dia minti we mi sika wo wi aso nya hie ni pa so sika ni we nkwa de ka so pe nkwa me mpe no metina hiem what so ya me be tua pa tie we ka ani bra we tu asinua be ba o mi aso ani bra we tu asinua be ba o mi aso awurade mfa de bɔ ne nkyɛn awurade tua ne ka mo adu me ka de ma akɔ ne nne de ka ma akɔ ye ni ayo fuku akuo mi da hɔ a me nya adwuma na ye de mba akɔto dɔka na health insurance nya adwuma na akɔla no million dumienu ansa na ba hwemba akɔla ne nse sika nkɔ abe mfa nsuo nsini so adai na mo kwa hia fafa adai na mo kwa sika bole mo nya bia gu paase na ba aka na be ni bi no mo di omo aboro hwe sabi jamfi wanu se fitiye na wuti ndi afia so asenega kokot wudi afia so asenega kokot na sabi jamfi den ka o me fami kura fami kokot mi de kura na anya hie ni be betima atem e o betima akoche afia so asenega e no gira ayi America ho no tatrao no abua ya de nipa kokot unkotwa atro mu ba omi aso ya de kokot unkotwa atro egu ba omi aso ya de kokot ukodi tro gu chairman January so ya de kokot na wo obi kabi fa ho ade ba kokot konfo ujira wa chesika ujira ho ye no cross so wa cha dollars utuwa wa sika ye ni kwa quote so nne MP NDC ba ye ti na wudi legon for ma efes of make akoka ya wonti ase na tra me ye sa odi na akoko TikTok na me so de me akoko ni abeba
mame
amen kwa ya wa
okay me da se
na
be
me ka tro wo ne eske se mo aboa mo wa mama nko Ghana kwa na ndem be fa so me nya ba ifo me tu aba ho
yanto wase wa bia yanto wase wa
me tu aba ho sunsun
bibia yanto wase why
na una yo parliament afi ani me tu akoye campaign me afi se nyo be ma ba o mi anya uni me papa
obenya yanto wase why
ani nyo be ma ba o mi am se nyama bia gufa ni mpa ya me bono me da kontiri me tu am se me yale Ba omi ho continue na ekun no. Me say me ye tu aba we wie ya me nada. Me na me ka chiro.
Yankopon hyira wo.
Ka de Japan se ba de Japan. Me chire South Africa. Chairman for me say, me make we Monica obi tin ni me challenge. Omo ye pim me nko a. Ni surobe.
Me da se mame. Ya me nka wo ho.
Ube cha for so omo mra no. Na me kuru so aye ready. Eto wo na otekwa na ho twem. Timi mi nsuro mi omo kura suro mi.
Aye ntobase eni kwan se ye ntokwa we eye discussions nti obi a kire na dwen.
Anti eni ntokwa no ye ku. But omo fa ni ntokwa o. Wọ́n sọ ọmọ ọmọdé kan ní ẹ̀yà pọ̀ tìǹà àgbẹ̀ pápá ní òbí ẹtì mọ̀ wà náà bla ohun ti di Amẹ́ríkà nù.
Mi tí o pa.
Ọmọ yóò súnmọ́ sí bọ̀ní à, ọmọ tí mímí tí wọ́n máa bú ọmọ ihu dada, aláàdì ẹ̀mí kan ń tìǹà sí ẹ̀.
Mi di ọwọ́ kan mi tí wá sí ẹ̀, asẹ́mu náà ọwọ́ kan mi tí wá sí ẹ̀ yìí.
Ẹ máa ń tìǹà sí nkásẹ̀ nípa wẹ̀yẹ nípa pápá o, wọ́n ní náà di àgùrọ̀, wọ́n ní nípa ní tí wọ́n náà, politics àbàmú ntẹ́ nù, ní wọ́n fà á hó adùnẹ̀.
Of course.
Ní wọ́n fà á hó paa. Ṣé ẹ̀dùnmílẹ̀ náà ní màmí ẹ̀ kàn ṣe ní bra? Ẹ̀yí ọ̀nà yẹ fie yẹ wọ́n ti twẹ́ ní ewé yìí. Na ẹ̀yí bra baako wọ́n bá pa ní fífi hó náà ọ̀dì fie náà fi màmí tẹ̀. Na ọ̀dì nkira ọ̀fẹ́ àbúròkyẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀dì nkira ama nsí sàfẹ́ kàtẹ́ màmí rẹ̀. Nam sẹ́ hey ọ̀bà fie hó a má nìyẹn pono mà ní nwúrẹ́ mu. Na nípa a ọ̀sí ọ̀bẹ kú ọ̀kyea ọ̀kúrò ọ̀bẹ tì mọ̀ kú. Ti bra. Not to be a through my way near now.
Obia.
December. And into the mimity corona, by my buang, as ye. Me will match it tie for. To a monogana for an acafenime. Half now, any the ordinary one going to could of a summer lie. Timino, I would do my time to say, maybe 20 years, maybe your more time in Stromo. We started your what I say. Time almost started here campaign tia bawomia omudi bawomia t-shirt good for tia so na me start akem eti min from enya me be tio omoka na me be tio omoka de ni baabi me se nkrofo we mbe bre na me nkọ na bi mladi na ye wa adwuma ye ne na de ho ye kakra de me ko eske so wa ko bom aba
ye beti ho ka bye bye. Ya maame Monica ena yete ne nkana ahu so wasoja pa maame nani abere pa dendende ya semo but maame Monica ento wase ai ento wase pa e maame Elizabeth chame mo akwa ba pa bushafo message so ba na wa share video no na wa like ai won subscribe so message subscribe na be kan bushia ko no maame Esther e mo akwa ba
just so na be ma say
pa cho ye na onso e
yes, so do my
yeah, the Yankopon ase. You was so
free. My contribution kaka de NDC de queen no Musamafo.
Ani ehu pa. And some ankrofo na bobo so no ba no de. Kwa yo mo afa so mo pese mu o man no. It is to be worried about. E more than a pa.
Because ye kai sagana for papa iba wo ba. What's over mount to me fra? Any dinner?
Yeah.
Ya catch them. It's a question a person me booster power. NDC, I'm a mum say. Are they happy with what they are taking the country? Omoni J. Say Omu boom my Omoni J. John Dramani Mahama. Blah, me see there is something wrong with somewhere.
Yeah, definitely, yes.
So, bibi enimu pa. Na me question to say, the NCC in future be anti-Ghana for but form promoting bill. I could talk about the NDC.
I wish you say would be a minister because really, some could just
because Mr. Marco, the way the cost way. It's a bafo margin say how say citizen not to a bad man no see you croy who buy 7 months propaganda I to say Almost that so higher than
position. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Some na ya two about the man ya papa na nado. MPP force brand be bu man. And there some more can was say I am in hurry. Shaniema or presented the man Ghana for. Drew mahama so me say papa we own. Not doing to say chobi adwene chobi. Chobi pa chobi. Because one on was sorry no pa. Na ne time on and titin and this ni cocaine ni ni win and titin and swap. And you only nebu my no. And you will not. Oh, Munko, your mboko can be another pay about obi. Oh, yes, so Munko, and Maniso, Monya, and Maniso entertainment. Yet, Ghana 4 years, but now I'm a paid you my Yakodi.
Or the aquarium,
oh, Mr. Malfo. Me nim said the men can abu madwene ne mentia se so ama me bisa me ho fe etim panifo o mani mu empanifo na omu di na na adwatem no omu o mani mu ana fe se sia ye wo country fufuro so ye wo ma fufuro so na tata nkofo we ya no omu di ye MPP no omu wo ho nyamimbu samu nyina onyamimbu samu se motumi eye omani se na omoche ye kan say na do no mo no MPP fo oil go for oil no enye no kore na edie na omodie na Ato Forson bejina ho kekaye no na no kore na Mr. Mafu bisa wo mo say no na ye the Ato Forson bejina ho kaye eno na ye no question die na po ye kan say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wo ye nana
kontompo pa na kwa ni twa no
Ghana for me question ma mo nana do say wetin da ben na mo betumi agira mo na so mo tumi mo wo bi na mo njai yes na wan kasa wo do wani we ayi be se fidi kadochi Ganama ga abinchi wa wo do wani ebe hu se enam nie aduane nie na debia ya wu ye na nanu mo na bia be to ye na nanu mo asasi so mo da wo dia mayen and debia propaganda we say oh I am for ye can't you use your common sense can't you use your common knowledge and gene na mo ma NGC for dem ale Mr. Manfo wa hwe wo ma na omu oyi akoya no o interview so no e TV3 ana meboa
no joy news I think joy news yeah
wo mo ni TV3 dia sa propaganda kwa mo ni ba wi
omo together and they are in the journey together they are working for the NDC
sankrofo we nyina ka ade kire magana fo na wan ko tie radio kra na aye den wan ko tie radio a edru say wo ba tie to aba na and there will be future because what the intini bottom aye den awie wo ba dachi and wo jina ho do kokromoti and there to sana abrochiro mo to aba abrochiro to aba say we ye minister we what bring me 2 cities madi so what to say den na see ehu say enye adwuma pa na wo ya omo to aba nya den emfa because when so to ma wa also say so we a buying papa and I will buy who say idea we ye no I saw o man ni no on be make decision after the what can so e so ye krom Ghana de wo be di sunfie nwotwe a yes boy na me matena se no ye show yi we ma de na medwem sisi ye nyi nkrofo we nu man free NDC mu just na see odun katia ɛne nkrofo kakra mo ka ho ne mahama no mu amfiri wa metamafo Ghana bɛyɛ bɔne te si a yɛni Ghana biem o yɛni Ghana biem ɛfɛn so akoa na ɔma point no wɔ China no
yeah
metamafo I say ayi no South
Korea yeah
MPP for more money na ho no mo hwa de pa because ankrofo we de men jomundi how say we ya Ghana ni no wadwene mu da ho wudi dinum kwan na wutena ho se obi a okuta ekrofo froso ya na wo no Ghana o
e de free ho na ba ya yeah
ya wo no ho ene obenyi ni wo Ghana ana me boa
ah no kore pa obe no 14 years ono ana eka
se ya wo no Ghana I didn't na mutumi ekse ono na meye ambassador wo South Korea fama Ghana ni
aye breach of aye
chefe me sama me si makina ya adwese ai ye ni sense papa we buso me nko ana ni tia bo
na me de kora mo wondering omo tene nche omo mu yeja ne nche ade bi se o ya omo ntumi nkasa
there is something me sama me say there is something dodgy going on
yeah of course something behind
yeah ka na omo de be ebre mahama no
yeah sa nka me ensa no yeah
that say e be free Chinese for and now say Korea for no South Korea for no and omo de bre no there's something fishy going on ma dia ba ko so say ni bisa Ghana for say etimo Jimmy and this for mo Jimmy na mo tumi kana ho ekro no mo free so na wo dey forget say mahama ye pa and this ye party no ma ba bem eti ubetena wa mahama de oman no akodi ti say na wo dey ye ponti ubi ankenye
okura pona ye twa ye wo to oman no mu
wo ye twa ufruma to oman mu no enya na ye bisamo na mo tat mitena ho Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia yiri Samila say onye dai
oye Fulani ni
onye Ghana ni oye Fulani ni mo ye mo pi mo tena wana mo kan isasa no mo ye mo adwene baako enni mutirim sama mo say mo ankasa mo twaba na mo de brom mo sama Monsem hunu na mo tena Ghana mo kekaye no sima mo sa dane aba behwe mo so na mo tumi akofa mo party no atumi akofa foreigners say foreigner ni say ono na me ye mo ayi ambassador enfaba mo musa mo tumi jimi ndc fo mo musa mo ye nkwatiafo mo ni musa adwena edibu man mu ni bi not me to so low. Now it doesn't surprise me. Na point your money now. If I nkuta
certificate.
Abitia PhD no mo yeden. Omukuta. Any process. Eti mi samaham mi samafo. Ye mahama te woyen e constant. Asafo nei. When the do wrong person ahead about
ay nyankopo menimpa ye omobo kire nyankopo
na me na mo go empire man when you go come sing one atofo yeah munni hute Ghana fu atofo abekokura munni bi wo de mani ma ye wo hu Jimmy wo hu kwasi ade na mo ye no boy what in the sato so musio nko asofo ya asofo mo kan bo mo de mahama bae wo mo de wonsa kan wa musio nko a musio nko a e na makotete uko no ho na so kwa for ye akodin paibo a wo sad another triple no me e de dia ko
okoji musu abebo ho ban e de abeka ho nsem
e de abebo ho ban Ghana for mon sorry o Ghana for mon sorry na masuna sisi mo nesusu ye fra mon sorry na mon jemu man fensio mon jemu man next time so for be about one chain be bold be strong na ka tell yourself wunye man of God I am a man of God by myself onyame odi to me di ma obia who no in a good heart in the truth obejo so to me bia o se to me bia obisa ni bia me mawrade me de be mam ama o de aye de ope so be buska me wonu krem na mo de mo tre me dase abrawa na mama mo kente so e na kwase afo ni agimi fo we e na mo akofo mo do ma ba na hwe ubaka se ayi de na mo ti wa na mo yo ubaka se class 1 fo nkola
ai omo bo mo nsem ai omo bo mo nsem
parliament ho
ai
ubaka se de nurse fo nkola Awurade I am ashamed se me gira ba bi kura bo Ghana dini se me gira na sa papa no kwa mpo de me gira hon ka se me nkobo ni di so ye president kura bi emu da because oye mediocre mahama ye concert ni na wani mu nyina no ene ye ka kire Ghana fo delegate fo spend onipa ba ko ensem hu o kan o Ghana onipa ba ko ene di Ghana akosto you ona na hwan me sama fo so di onimu no
o me ne papa bi osikani bi asem na ye kan
me da ase osikani bi o so ona on di owo sika obi ya ewiase nipa nyina me se ne na ase no fa ne nan entiatia wo mo so no na sam ba ko a wo ko kan ye no se Ghana fo wies ayi MPP abayi wies sika ese se echina ni obi
yes
omo didi nyafo asamba ko wo kan ye no ena je MPP fo tumi efiri wo man mu na amanfo amwo Ghana mo hwe nyankopon anim wo sura Awurade na wo Ghana is a Christian country. Ask yourself, say, did this man deserve to be a president in future? Should I use my time to vote for this man? Delegate for Monene Namusani bill and son must take a decision. Yes, kwasiya fidie yentia so de yentia so mprenu mumma moni na wo sa abo wo de na na do be ye nyina no NDC for patches na na do but me pesa me kire mo say we ye kenken kwa de opo mo jimi na omu gumu na so na omu de o ma to omu kra na omu ni mo nyam de America no they are the people who is gonna buy this propaganda from you guys.
Yeah.
One and the self of the same way every one more. Every more. Now they are not doing that. I mean, inside of the Sonian phone. No what chance. I want you know. On some propaganda way any day. So that because mo to one. Yeah, can't a form of one. We are number 1 and this for. Then ya me share you na. Na ye de ye wo akukudro e wo gidie say it doesn't matter munu amakode mutu kwe any nu amakode amodi bebu modi baba de power ne say it will never remain there forever. Sacrifice be amoye ya amodi Ghana no you pay back dearly for your life. Yes, sama mama rade. Yes, sama mama wiema tumfo no so. Montena ho. Na monhwe de nyame tumi betumi ayeden. Ebeye. Mr. Mafo, me do ase amedase.
Me da won so ase, nyame nka ho ma me Esther.
Onka.
Yeah, ma me Esther, and I tell nka no. Very good submission. Aye. Mimia Evans, Sauda so ho a obetumi afre. Chance aba be dem. Aye. Oda so ho obetumi afre. Aye. Abusiamfo nsem na ye kana nye se bia agro bi na ye di o. These are things that ekoso wo manum, and it's very a shame. It's very, very a shame. In any case, Abusiamfo ma bi phone lines na to so to me frɛ. I mean Evans and come me so frɛ. We are available a mesre wa san frɛ na yemfa onto platform no so. Mekoso na ma so se mesre wa wo ha ya na obo modern na like video na ma me. Share ma me, subscribe to the channel so that we can push ko no ho. Say that be a ba life wa won so no obetume ababe kan ho. Hedi dwumadie no abigiram.
Dollar no yate so wo mu botum but an reflect wo edum ha. Oba first one was say yate dollar so. Yate safer so. Yate we so cement yante so besine. Me to cement last for 2024 me to 104 ene 130 entity ayate de maso ne sen
sisi aye the dollar ne safer ni na de ye adwuma ala ya na binum so yate dollar so customers ne ba almost yate safer no so safer no ye ente so say ama ne ma ye boko se na ya ankrofo tifi a mo ka no ene safer no betima ba fam ene dollar betima ba fam ene kina bako no na asen akosoro ana sika no even na dollar ne was na market ne ye because this time market nye na yete no.
Hello Evans, me mo akwa ba you pa.
Me jo so menua.
What is it?
Me she ho na no na escape kura o twa me da pa say
to ga.
Who was me wa hu me wo organize o here TV abronya ho na so that yes and ya me ko o mo nyina ko ya yi ko subscribe o e ko like it here kakra only say abronya me ta ko de ho mo bai wo de bia me hwe wo only say bia me kasantira.
Thank you. Yes, I think say video I will hear no. Where you yell from Kono mama here. Later no you see.
Yeah. My regular me my share na my like it. You know I know the principles of the work.
Yeah.
So me I be catch na my say mo dey say o me my message na because sempano mo hu here.
Yeah.
Because but if was the draw na gini pa na yatrema enya dodo bia na we asena kasa no. Especially mama pa kwanya so na menchia adofo na tifo o modi ka be kasa ne o mamu hwe nyina if the chichiri ne be che chia o mo pa da o mas so say bre ne bre nyina no o jimbe tie sempa na afi o mo be support to the page no.
Yeah, that's it.
Onia o my Ghana da honom no hu say ya maya ni amre pa hwe ya this country is heading towards doom. Na mpanyefo say okofo one share come say kroma otimbi ye nyina ye Ghana fo na ade a wo hu say ade ne koso no a ye nyina ye de ani hwe ene Ghana ye ni you are from saying CSO phobium ye ni neutral people ye ni Christian council make my catch of public one black say ene Ghana on ye ni Christian council na ne ya na me ya pa so ne say Ghana ni bi wo mo support one DC say na sister ba ko be kan
yeah.
We are this senior also support when this out qualification make a qualification go check mahama there.
Yeah.
Mahama say wa rega na nyina wa nya ni particular bit my ambassador ewo South Korea o say North Korea. You say Korea ni ono aba as a visitor. Abetna Ghana be yeska. Mahama nim say wa kwa kwaje man sika dey campaign. Yes all reward. Mahama is just rewarding people. He borrowed money to sponsor his campaign during 2020 and 2024 elections. Can na makachira no. Eti ni bibia o ye bia ye omo borrow no money and I say omo can be man when he was in the opposition.
I see.
Eti I say let me pay them so that they are going to do much for me. Okay? And they can near before now respecting the person or a media person. Now kasa utie no. Enti ama because of that and let me say me sponsor for by say me pure sports especially kankan board unti me tie biem. NJ Sports na me pe obi te say they kadam sa sempa we sports na pe na sempa ba say me tie no biem nipa bebre honoma and they mintie omu biem because omu nyina compromise.
Yeah.
They know omu nim no kure pass no kure ni but omu nka omu de no kure ni nam chen so bi say kosi say mintie asempa biem. Me was stations bebre na mintie. Yes, because of say me kwa gotie movement and I say want to me because of young people ni and I say bi I can the Japan station kura this time mintie biem. Because
can Japan stations they say good.
Mintie biem they say you cannot tell me say young people ni na mom MPP negative side nkwa na beka.
Yeah.
Na ya na say me ya say bro. Party a wo pese odi animu no. Ade bia ya de papa bia no on man na Japan station almost station broadcast. But ade bia de boni bia no this will talk about it. Eti sa wo kura na the party no kompo mawa. How do you think say wo betimi aka ye num bia bom am ye adwuma ma wo?
It will be very difficult.
Just ene obi kura akokasa na bankasa in favor of Canada Japan. Just say any panel the target na say just say you campaign as if so we NDC ni. Meanwhile, you are fighting for the same party you want to bring to power.
Yeah.
The party now over so the power no, but you don't see anything good about it unless what favors you. Now, me think say kwaku kwati ko say yen MPP before the now na be leader. Who are you to tell Chairman Sabonsu? Na mpani for say who ye Uromaya Catholic church member, uche pope na. Ye ka party way in the foundation and the strongest pillars of MPP. You cannot mention 5 people without mentioning Chairman Sabonsu. Now who dare kwaku kwati just because you are my position as a educational sports spokesperson.
Yeah.
And you know you have arrived. Well, me bompa say nyamenya adu na 31st na can you control abana a strong party leader like Dr. Baumia. Now obi obedi was assembly chance empam free party. That is my wish. Say Benya leaders they can hold people by their words and punish them.
Yes.
And punish them. Me I know na me make it because Ghana na that house see there. You say 4 years here there anymore there. Sebio control clan ni nsem hu say ya na be hu. Say finance minister mu oh the budget as if say oh your campaign. Just say and this will never change and they can never change. In any case, then they talk about my woman, mahama, anywhere this for. Question we have to ask mahama. And in the end, this is for say, and then Ghana for to Abamam. Some moment may take control of affairs. Because Moka to the Ghana for say, Aban now, or you're too incompetent, say, want me put 2 things together, and Magana form benefited from it. Mebuana.
Yes, of course.
Abana would a teacher for Kakumpo, teacher from Baby Kwamaka say, Utuam Castle, Siam to Abamano. Next, for Baby allowance, they said, no, we are not going to vote because you give us less training allowance and everything, but yes, we are going to vote against you. Yes, they are the people who we always think that they are elite or they are second class. Maybe mommy and I say, me papa be a one school that year. You bet Marcus okay on the on left to right. You can say, Sana, you can say Bajimbre, but never Bajimbre, and then Bajimbre na more change in another castle. And then Marcus say, yeah, I'm no much no margin. Soon you're great that way. Oko have grown near a year the month. And that grown I had but how you could that down and I send pass your public company example. But the higher to areas, no, Fabrono ye. Now, and they see Nenny Biaba, Yan Sabano, Correction of Mopposite. Oh, scout to sit that sit but the idea future from Webia railway by power and I say, but the future from Webia. You bet my sports studio, just say, young man, anyhow, abnormally. But we call ourselves civilized by civilized in there. And we are since one Nibi because we 195 countries. Now say I can't say Pelo Ekunagana think to best just say we are not civilized, we are still going backwards.
Yeah. And send the Akotoba mahama.
Yes, because we Ghana na Tembia who said better than Ebesi. But what the Barbara Funumsuma Nebesi Echinano. And to me, that because they think wisely and do things better. Yeah, back from my first. Meanwhile, notice so you after moment so you know, almost because now a movie say normal. Saturday, my member Italy had more paper, mobile phone, I'm trying to chip. My register, I'm use. Better, but no, almost after say no, Obiako register like I didn't because almost say I'm not what him the normal need boni we are yet watching. They better be tracing.
Only with the registration. Yeah.
Wow. Eti sankro for we are maba as NDC for our most mahama and do money ma. Oh yeah, omulida. Mahama they say so no the country not to autopilot too. Enti we call office by no because any person must be to my we house you bra farm. Now one video be a sometimes be na mahama catch be so office. Now who ni clay store so say why mahama.
Me kaipa.
On paper be finish. On paper be finish. Enti saa my we no na saa na Ghana for so me dey am kasa saa na Ghana for pay because Nyankopon punish nipa according to the way they behave. And na we are so nipa o ye ungrateful no Nyankopon punish no. Me hu say Bible mu Nyankopon punish Israel for na no ye ungrateful beings no o punish bi no ku bi no ti Ghana for no ni omu nyanwu. Mahama ko gina Northern region which is Boligatanga Babia of the Boko no mo e ka say when NDC was in power Boko is free. And never kunto kwa sana bedroom kuma say ma start kusase for ni mampurusi for
ene yakum mampurusi ni bi offense so na yakum kusase ni ene yakum
nto kwa na start ba because Mahama say because when Mahama says there is peace here o kire say ono onye peace ono ne bi o kan bi opposite na Ghana for ye nipa say dem di kankan no ye ungrateful enti yemfa mi yen yemfa nyen. Now, how can you tell me, say, Obia of Korea, or Bagana? Now, said your brother, well, 14 years to 15 years. Ya uno Gano. Into a bear citizen, or bear citizen by way of documentary.
Yes, of course.
Or young citizen by birth.
Yeah.
Now, Obi to say, Sadiq Adams, yen him say, oh, you Bianca, when you figure, unim dear, and then the most Ghana, 78 million number, the baby, Jimmy Power Ghana. 78 million now money makwacho ofufuno amani pa bebre jimi Ghana ho ama bebre ignorant by force.
Yes.
No kure ho onka. Na girl be say me bona baso yesi afra no ya no ya ma opi angel ho no girl no kasa ma me feeling pa. Say anya hwe no nti Ghana ye ni obi a what languages obetuma ya adwuma na even before kro na abaya o matwa kam ko mahama no go ba president twam ko no. Nti anya Ghana ni bi obetuma ya adwuma se commissioner ewo Korea ho. One of the part.
Very risky.
Yeah, so ultimate two country. Because we have a constitution and Article 200 and something. And no, your opposition be on ma. Who could do a citizen? But now be a MP. But now country now allegiance to no. Now so country now because moment you become compromised, a very difficult to take a decision.
Yeah.
Now so you see, or mind how say yama or man be now when you know. As of what you pay for your almost the name Yansai, or one I Mahama by no more than 1 year. TV, I say, was a Biogana, Yankwana, a person, Yawana. I want to almost say, I want to do a more focus. Yeah, you are my most sensitive position that a bit to me, a big problem. I play a Dachi, our Ghana. Ade Mahama, they have one over. Yansa Ben Kwana Mahama, only a bush for an answer only on crop for Moa, and Muya Bibia, without 2 persons as a brother. A dear Mahama, ye pan, Senkakoya and the Akufuado. And not 20 will be cry.
Kufuado, Ghana, no. Come back to a Kufuado, so Jubilee House. Bro,
I remember who said, Kwame Nkrumah say Africa is capable of handling their own affairs, but under Mahama, don't the money Mahama there, we are not yet capable of handling any affairs. Mahama gradually, no, or side the arc back to colonialism.
Yeah.
Now, as a Ghana for baby, no, because of Kakra and Lakrusa, Kakra to moment, no. Now you become a slave when you have land cruiser and you are going to work on foot because the reason being said, well, master no babeton, or mapa mount travels our land cruiser, then you are going to walk or barefooted. Yet I'm not 1 person betty, no. Or Mama Hama, quite no any open. Now on Tutunoma on just on Ghana, a Jagam. Ghana, Boko conflict continues of way. What better for 6 to 7 months now? What is Boko conflict? What's not a question about say, what about Master Bibiamo? I'm a marginal swap Abama. Meanwhile, I area Hogomono. I buy a 2 year, but we will be all because Ukakasham say, Omonama to Quaninka. Since you also am to quite also good about me to about Tiana Poto. As is what if you don't do still an amount of Quaninka? Well, okay, I say, what I'm going this in even as I do at them because and this in the said, the party wapa one day, whether it's good or it's bad, you have to support it. Yeah, I don't blame them because that's how they are. And this in the search, problem bet Messiah man about watching. Ntokoya ebe ba ekoso ni no manoma and this in the fee say as far as Kevin Taylor, you better appointing a man baby amanache. Because ne mentor ni Kevin Taylor, na Kevin Taylor will be a man no phone in the foot. No, wow, did not way. It means that yam nipa. Way oh, na we have to move the
I don't want. I mean, me hear NDC for more jubilate say Kevin Taylor bagan and Obia and Yen Shena. I don't want to talk.
Nasakana there, you'll be a oh, one out of one house already a month watching. You almost do a matter no more, but what by so a bagan? On suddenly a month watch, on suddenly a month watching him. Now go on a number.
Sort your mind. Now he will
very good.
I feel no behu.
And
a bind you.
No.
A
bind you. Kusasini as if you're able to do as what we're going to. I buy the channel. You are going to walk to your own death. As far as our Ghana, only number officer, who your champion because mahama mouse some useless security guys in this moment by. I give you Nakasa security to walk up a whole journey.
Yeah.
When the time comes from Mamika Sancho, when the time comes, when people are aggressive, when people are ready to take what belongs to them, when people want to fight for their right, especially the type of injustice now, Mahama, me was a historian, but the man is still dumb. The man is still dumb and useless and as a fool, as a president. The reason being said, also you're a historian and you know what causes some ethnic tribal wars.
Yes.
Now, so to me, just hand on my way, an officer, Ghana for the association because media for bit Maccabiamon. But when the start and when the route start, some media for they will find themselves wanting, and nobody would dare even go to station to go and talk anything positive about you.
Absolutely.
It is our honor in the capital and in the corporate officer and people strike. When people strike, no military, no police, no security can determine what they are going to do because it happens in Tunis, it happens across Arab Spring. Now my officer, you got that phenomenon one more soldiers or more, but it will be no bomb.
Yeah.
And the members make a Nagana ni and I say Mahama in the phone. I said, you might motive on cost of one. I almost the best I'm the one. Almost starting thinking twice because what the man is doing, he is creating something. If care is not taken, something significant and something problematic will happen to this country, and we don't want any tiny be a main cancer. Main can you say? Who can you come here? Young Peninsula say, "Oh my God," because that is what they always think. And this Nibia of the one normal thinking person now for this be another say, I say because one of you say I can't massacre and Yafi because only meanwhile, you want a peaceful place to settle. When you have a rat in your place, you run down to this place so that you can get peace of mind. I didn't know Mopesa Moyesa. I didn't know Mahama. Only Wabusu for Mopesa. Now, okay, so Sigana will be a basset. I critical Albania when I was going to be.
And
you know, Honma. Oh, Bebu, mine. Oh, do you draw to Ghana for say? Oh, now bet my own money. Ghana for their Kunyama. Oh, very well, man. Oh, that's what mine. And that, Obia Copedma, at Mapa, MPP for the buy, and none will be a PBI. And school feeding. Now, what is saying? Youth Empowerment Agency, MPP. All this is MPP for the buy.
Yes, of course.
Mahama now and now teachers are positions in the man and crop for Moody home. One is another or no public I said, they better my pan or their bagana, and now I'm for Bohaka. South school feeding MPP and Kufon on the buy. And then this is what MPP for Moya. I don't know what they want to trust them for Mamba. Now, most women can say, yes, we are banning and crop on quiet. Now, most of you on my people was on crop for well, into a manner, a woman, dear brother, maybe I make my kind of point like say, Mahama did not come for Ghanaians. The rather, no, Obama some little portion be now, little portion of their mom or their mom or mobile, growing or multimintum. Or my Ghana is bigger than Mahama and all his followers.
Of course.
You want to say, a room than a swat. Or Munina, a woman. Now, many I say, yeah, said you, I can't fool. You will to me say, I am my and this is for my power that. But when you are
yeah,
and this knee, and to me could never be, and come one this knee, sir, my man into the party muda. Who born dog say, Mahama, tell me, and this in out of so party. So you bring your people near. Yes, some people near, common people new. And people near party now, so I want a man, I somebody. Would you never be no cassa for NPP one? Asif the party no say panyi bi anim e na ye omo ye ne ompe na me nti make no say Dr. Baumia me na she say omo na me leader na so be a leader na all these things that so cause there I will be disappointed and very very disappointed in him man can't you wanna me boa they say sanitize it's better say ubenya strong party say you respect and discipline wom than say ubenya obia na odi akina ni balance okan ho na onkan ho brother ubet ma share nipa 20 na bia mu ba ko pe na pe wasem it's better say ubenya ba ko pe wasem than say nipa 19 na di waji na omo fight against you
omo choku yeah
well enti me de na me ma kan say mahama de say propaganda ni normal de omo wa ban mu omo nya ye da because on the all kan nyina no omo muti radio so defending nyina no say nsem hunu na man na kan bat because 7 to 8 million be the baby
yes of course
because nti Ghana obi ka cho so ye neutral one day oye CEO CSO oye Christian Council oye national chief from say national chief executive peace council bia ni Ghana and national bibia ni Ghana say MPP ye bom pa say nyame ya dom na say 2028 ye ba ban mu na ye nya sa ankrofo no bia ya so ye ni atem but ye best di o matem and this for di o matem ti I say obi asuro say obeka o mo hasem
yeah
MPP and the MPP na nado oye obi oye diplomat and obi a oye tolerant ntino and sembe na nkrofo yan kan fa na nado ni ewom eni ni eni mtro aye di na obi timi gina for them say okuta babu e kan nyame asem so otimi kata na ni na wa twa ntro kese ya no de ato o mampanya oteso so just because oye support NDC just say NDC no ya de hokobo mo de a no matter how you are no you have to become a liar and you have to become a propagandist that is all what they know now we have catch them say wo ya sofo na sa nkrofo bi so te o machi say nyame nipa me ya na ho ya mesre ana NDC fonti ene o masofo obi ntinu bet papa for so me ama me konkrobo no asore because the reason being say ye woni pa bi a omo say nyame din wo Ghana omo de nyame som ye no mabone omo de nyame som di nsem hu ama wo dwen ho a Bible ne kan no Bible say awie ne beba but nya awie ne beba wo Africa ne Ghana ne Nigeria for na ya dwen say sa na ye de ahye ya dwum na di nsem hu awie be ne ba beba wo ti kuro mai say bi wo ha na wuro mai asore ne ti wo he papa what is say so ku bi gina ba bi kompo eye politics a o di mpanifo atem e wo ne pocket so
obi nka bi da
wunim babu mo nim che Roman pope
da bi da
wunim babu mo nim che Roman father wo kroma
da bi da
mo kra de mo before be father be ji watum say wo ye cardinal na say wo ye no me papa ba ko Roman father oko school kwa university school Roman school kwa more than 25 years what you say osua dia di oda no nya de kro bi say de be ne wo we mu a onim sa nkofo no mo nyina bontin kan sem no na obi a wo no da ho no ma say nyame ayi a kire say me sofo na enya wo o might say Ghana obi tim ko ye bosom ofiri bosom fia na ba wura so dem say mati asore na amafo di na ni ba na chi bo say o eti o might like this no madam bi kan so we obi a wo smart na person o pay posi kapa dia ko Africa na say Ghana wo nya sa kakra obi ye ntem eti obi ti say obi ni onim ni din twere so na wa iskani because of ignorant and useless people who don't think twice wow nti bro ma me ko si na fufuro be wura ma na me wase bebre say o ma me kwa na so ma kire ma gene wa
me da won so na me hu wa chitra me pe wa no ma sim de take akra
mate me da so bebre ja de bo fantastic
abusia for ye wi Evans na ye te ne nka no we dia me na wo Italy ha ya according directly from Italy ha ya abusia for am say yakoya nim bre eko anti me de wo besi ha I see say nobody is even there to call anti me de wo besi ha na yankopon eboa ema ahoden na ochina moja egu moja wo widiem na techrema so I can say already am moja dia hurusie ewo nipa mu na techrema da abodwe mu dia yebesan ahia ha na dey another episode abremo me do bibia se obibia o se ne bre me ma me no de jan akome mu akwa bapa obi o se ne bre obi o be share ye obi o comment ye obi o be hwe ye wa subscribe wo ene wa sabio o tena chire hwe ne kama bia no me da wase etia o ye pa mani wo me so I have to end it because the screen computer no shimaniwa so I have to end here. Thank you very much for being here with me today and hope we will see you tomorrow. Until we meet again, I salute everybody. Adios.